So, Korvosa. Great place, isn't it?
Lovely place.
Before we get in there, can I ask a question?
No.
Where's the pocket guide?
It's a wonderful city with no problems that has caused us no stress whatsoever. Everything has been great.
Yep.
It's a wonderful place to live. What have we dealt with so far? The king was, well, unfortunately lost.
Yeah.
Which theoretically now seems like it may very well have been an assassination.
Poison.
And then the city
An artist did it, apparently.
very fell apart.
Lead paint.
We've had some roving mobs.
Food
We've
shortages.
Had some food shortages. We've had the basic
Sewer
general
monsters.
breakdown of society. Sewer monsters erupting through the streets
Yep,
as
yep.
the pipes are and the channels are untended to. We've had guard deserting their posts. We've had the standing army of Korvosa all but dissolved now
Yep.
by the new queen.
The new queen.
We
Yep,
were
that
attacked. We were attacked by
ripped
imps.
my career dream.
We
It's
were
so-
attacked by imps.
Let's see. What else went wrong?
What your rock says, just
Just have to believe.
believe. It'll
It's
come
been a
back.
great time.
We went to a
But
party.
surely, after handling all of those things, and even running down the suspected assassin responsible for the king's death, Korvosa has run out of horrible things to do to us. This has got to be the point of coasting, right? We get to hang out and have a good time.
It can't.
But before we get into why it's not that, and it's never that, and there is no happiness in this world, thanks to Paizo for sponsoring our show, having us here. This adventure, The Curse of the Crimson Throne, now available in a pocket guide. It's full 6 books, all their splat material, their appendices, all their information. A bunch of new fancy art from the anniversary edition. One really useful tome. I'm actually gonna have a hard time going back from this. I think when I go back to having to have 3 to 6 books in front of me to run things.
Having to open them all up and flip back and forth.
Well, the best part about this, and I've mentioned it briefly before, and I'll say it again, is things like in Age of Ashes, trying to find the rules for rebuilding Citadel Altarian. Things like that. Like, was this in book 1? Was this in book 2? It's the circus rules for Extinction Curse. You gotta get book 1 back out. Are we okay?
I farted. I'm sorry.
Oh, geez.
That wasn't me. That was dirt.
Base boosted.
Whoa.
The sounds of violence in the distance.
And the Inception button, man. We're just
That's what
mashing
Soundburst
it.
does.
That sound.
So just play that every time I cast it.
Yep. It's like someone just plugged in an amp at max volume.
But having all of the entire Adventures appendices available just right here is freaking fantastic. The all 6 of them together in one thing, that alone is a huge help. But Paizo was not our only sponsor here. We've got Norse Foundry with these fantastic dice. They can't decide if they love or hate the characters sitting at this table right now. It's been extremely swingy.
They're
Love
fickle.
me.
Very fickle.
Yes. Force be fickle.
But they're super neat looking while they do it.
They're pretty.
We have Sirenscape, which our tech assistant is currently trying to get functional at the table because our speakers decided they don't want to function anymore. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear it, probably, unless that's been broken while I've been doing this. But we can't hear it, and I want to hear the cool Sirenscape stuff.
They're hearing Windows noises, so things are getting plugged in or unplugged.
That's
so
also sound burst.
No.
That's progress. We're hearing explosions as we try to get the speakers working here, but I mean, again, it's not critically important. We can mess with that later.
Hey,
Hey!
music.
As soon as you gave up hope.
That's the secret. Every time you give up that last little bit of hope that you didn't know you still had, and as soon as you have let go of your dreams, everything comes together. It works every time.
Really? It works on your stream?
Now I can hear this stuff now.
Yeah.
He always has hope on his stream. That's why everything breaks.
Stuff. But as we came in, or as we come in today, as we have come from these last 8 episodes, we are just in our first period of calm, almost peace, as much as Korvos has had since King Aedred has passed.
I would
We've had a
argue
day
that
not
that was
being
like
hounded by horrible things.
day 2 was probably the best day.
Day 2, the streets were literally on fire.
Yeah.
No, that after everybody rioted, day 2 things were calm, but no one was doing anything because everyone was at home, I guess, hiding.
Try not to starve.
Yeah, try not to starve.
I was hiding in the closet.
The city's peaceful when people are starving to
Yeah,
death.
because now we still got people
You
running
shut up,
around.
you stupid peasants. I don't want to hear about your problems.
We still got people running around looking for Fontaine.
Oh no, my pencil broke.
True. Since he was apprehended very subtly and brought back with the Hat of Disguise to Citadel Bolshevik,
Best magic item.
the hunts have not ended quite yet. But it's not nearly as bad as things were in the immediate aftermath of King Gaedren's death. The city is still not exactly great for supplies. Food is still difficult to come across, very limited and expensive where you can find it. The shipping lanes are very much not up to their normal speed, but they're at least functional. And the group of you seemed to have a day without anything immediately going horribly wrong. In fact, you had just been handed with your new level 6 clearance with the Korvosan Guard a veritable stack of new fancy toys from the quartermaster. Was more than happy to serve you, as he always is.
Ray of sunshine.
Wonderful, jolly fellow.
Wonderful retail worker he is.
Yeah.
He fit into the industry very well.
He's got that spirit.
Yep.
So you have like 2 or 3 striking runes on rune stones.
I think
and
it's 3.
3, and then
Yeah.
you've got a. That was just the very beginning of the morning. You have a day with no immediate mission, no immediate problems. I suppose we'll just go around. But what are you doing? Why do you need to go around? Are you all doing something? Are you heading back your various
Oh,
ways?
I
You've
got
only-
plans.
Oh, okay. We'll start here then, Darren. What's your plans?
All right, so after watching that OTU have a hole the size of a basketball blown into it by Reth's
a
gun,
basketball?
Yeah, what's a basketball?
the size of a
Small child.
no, it's not that big.
Cannonballs are small though.
Children.
And I was gonna say grapefruit, but that's a
size of
tropical fruit. We probably don't have those here.
The size of your head.
You're a coastal city. You got shipping lanes down to, I almost said Karamja, down to the walking
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure that you can.
What? You almost said what?
Karamja.
What is Corona?
Corona.
RuneScape Wangi.
Cue the sea shanty.
I mean, curiously enough,
Fantasy worlds.
I know what you meant, so I guess it kind of worked. All right. You know, yes, grapefruit. It's a grapefruit-sized hole in that OTU. And I want to get me one of them because then Reth let me shoot it the next day. And that was so cool. I didn't hit anything, but I don't care. I want one. And so Darren, like a typical 16-year-old who just got shown a new toy, he wants to get one for himself. So I'm going to go get
Darren
one.
wants to go to the gun
I want to
store.
go get a gun.
The size of a pomelo.
The size of
Well,
a what?
A pomelo. It's bigger than a grapefruit.
But then that's not accurate then.
You said basketball first. Grapefruit's like that big.
Yeah,
What
I
kind
thought
of
better about it.
Basketball is shaped like that.
The hot dog just died.
So the
It's a
good
beach
news-
ball.
It's a frisbee.
A good slash bad, I suppose. So with the recent strife that the city has experienced, though all of the bakers and butchers and people who keep the lifeblood of the city flowing might be having a really difficult time with their supply, some of those slower moving and in some ways even emerging industries, like your local Korvosan black powder shop, are probably having a fantastic time with sales, I imagine, as much like the crossbow, the entire purpose of the black powder firearm is to not require the kind of skill and finesse that even a short bow would, and just be a thing that you point in the direction of the bad, and then it is gone now. And one such shop not too far from the southern end of the city in the Pillar Hill district, which is a shop of curiosities of engineering. It is not exclusively black powder and guns, but that is a decent section of what they have, as well as some other interesting clockwork, oddments, and contraptions. They have a variety of things that you would see. None of the guns that they have on display would be quite the literal hand cannon that Reth carries around. They would be an assortment of smaller, flared barrel pistols or strange, almost conical rifles. Some of which even have such interesting and creative and ingenuitive features as like fully folding or collapsible stocks for some of these longer things. But you would also see some more peculiar sorts. Taking the bayonet concept perhaps to its natural conclusion, there appear to be gun blades full swords whose handles have largely been replaced with the mechanisms of a small black powder firearm, combining the two of these together into one.
A gun and a sword together?
What you say?
Preposterous.
How could Darren resist? I can imagine. It's like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I've made a mistake. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Guns and Gears does have a gun sword.
It does.
It
It has a
does.
gun axe, a gun spear.
Wait, back up. Gun spear?
Gun spear.
How does that work?
Don't
Shoots
ask.
spears. It's a gun that shoots spears at people.
What?
The fling flinzer.
I don't know. I'm making it up, but it sounds plausible.
All right. That's really sad.
There's
It's literally just called a gun sword.
Yep.
Okay. This weapon consists of a large sword with a powerful gun based on a harmonica gun down the center. I don't know what a harmonica gun
It sounds like it plays
It's
music.
another one of the
That does
guns.
sound like that was also
No.
my first one.
A harmonica gun is similar to an arquebus. It's one of the other weapons.
So it's a sword with a
gun.
baby arquebus in it.
Large bore long gun that fires a heavy, slow moving. This is a cannon. This is King K. Rool's cannon.
well, large bore could be a lot of things.
It is 2 bulk.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. That is
Arquebus is pretty heavy too.
a gun.
Well, you have to put a sword on it, so.
No, just the gun is 2 bulk. The harmonica gun. And
Oh.
The gun sword is also 2 bulk. So I guess at that point, putting a really big freaking blade on it's kind of negligible.
Well, I think it's a smaller harmonica gun,
Changes how
right? So
wieldy
it's
it
not
is.
like, yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I'm on Archives of Net. I just went to Archives of Nethys. There's not a picture, so I'm not, like, we're flying by the seat of our pants here. But yeah, that is a thing. It is just martial proficiency.
Yep.
Woo!
Yep.
Ranger, baby.
Sure. Okay.
No, it's simple. Like, you shoulder it like a crossbow, so that translates, and then you hold it, and there's a sword on it. So then you swing that, and that's like a long sword. That makes perfect sense.
Nick, really, it's simple. You just kill the bad guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it is massive. It is a 2-handed sword.
I'm down. Oh my god, it's the best of both worlds. I'm so happy. I'm gonna ruin that thing up.
Why did I dare go gun shopping by himself?
Is he even old enough to buy a gun?
Yeah, can you even drink?
What, to buy curiosities in an
Arguably,
engineering store?
he
Of
has
course.
more experience with firearms
Doesn't matter.
than most people in the city.
I
'cause
shot
he
one
shot
once.
one once.
Thankfully, the laws of Korvosa have not caught up to the technology, and so I can buy guns as a 16-year-old.
I mean, you could also buy
surprised.
great swords, battle axes, backpack ballistas.
We're not going to talk about those.
John, what are you doing?
John has a couple of cool little spell rocks,
You have some cool little spells.
and I have to go find a very good craftsman to put both those spell rocks in for
I could do
him.
one of them,
No.
please.
John is going to take his money that he has earned and go pay a hardworking man or woman or gnome to go.
Oh, they're not people. I see. The oft forgotten third gender. No.
Gnomes.
And put the rocks into a scythe, hopefully.
Okay.
He's very devoted to his farming implement-based murder.
It's special. It's important to him.
Heading into town, you would fortunately find that in the wake of this still active kind of chaos, there's the city of Korvosa at the moment, many of the blacksmiths, I mean, the vast majority of your blacksmiths in any given settlement are going to be farriers. But many of those, there's not really a business outside of supplying the Sable Company or the Korvosan Guard or the Royal Guard to just be making weapons and shield and armor. That said, there was a Sable Company, and then all of a sudden there isn't anymore. So there are very well some weapons and armor specialists who suddenly don't have contracts, who had thought they had the most stable crafting jobs in all of Korvosa, who have found themselves now with nothing.
You just missed a really good pun. The most
And-
sable employment.
Ignore him. it's me and you.
And they suddenly have little to do, little going for them, and are desperately in search of work, of contracts, of things to do for service. And all of that is just in this High Bridge district just outside of Citadel Bolshevik, where the headquarters of the once Sable Company still stand. So you would actually find it extremely easy to find someone willing to put this all together for you.
So it's perfect then.
You would look down at it. Take the. You have one of the runestones.
I have. My sight's not even magic. It doesn't have the basic rune in it. I have a +1 and a striking. I want both these put into sights.
Where'd you get the +1 rune?
From
you got
the
both
quartermaster, yeah. I asked him for
stack
it.
of runes. You have one of each. These are the Korvosan Guard.
Yes. It's a little deputy's badge.
Huh.
These don't have the weapons I like to use, which is this.
Things must be. Well, I suppose it brings me some comfort to know things are equal amounts of madness for even the city's guard themselves, that they're having to outsource your work somewhere else. Don't you have smiths and craftsmen on retainer?
I don't know if they do or not. The quartermaster wouldn't help me with that
I'm
regard.
certainly not turning down your coin. Forgive me prying into the gift horse's mouth here. But certainly I can apply the pair of these for you. Pair of runes onto a weapon. This should be a farming tool as much as anything. You sure about this? You want them on this?
Yes, it's actually a very well-made weapon. My whole village scrambled together to make it.
I can see that. It is intricate. It's well constructed, but weapon perhaps isn't the word I'd be giving to it. But if you're sure this is what you're after, for the pair of runes on here, 45 silver pieces.
45 silver pieces? Yeah, I'm just gonna hand him a gold.
That's 10.
Oh yeah, right. I can't math, can I?
45.
45 platinum. Yeah, I'm gonna hit
So
him.
it'd be 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah. I thought you said copper. For some reason my mind is.
My friend, Mr. Washington here, would like to have something to say about that.
All right, so I still need 3.5. And then 5 gold pieces.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Oh my god.
Should be fairly simple. These are
You alright?
rather fundamental runes. I should be able to have them applied. If you come down not too long after sundown, hopefully I should have the business done for you.
That sounds perfect to me.
I guess. It's now. It's now that the Korvosan Guard are interested in getting their weapons together? After the assassin's already been apprehended? I've seen your lot up in arms around the castle for the past day or two ever since the rumors broke out. I don't know. I guess now you've got the time for it, right?
The assassin's been apprehended?
That's the word. Sorry, rumor and hearsay all, of course, but I figured you know more better than others.
I didn't know that. Oh. Interesting. Well then, have fun with that. I'll be back before sundown then.
You give it my best effort, and I'll see you this evening or tomorrow morning if you couldn't make it. I'll hold on till you return.
Thank you very much.
Floblin.
Well,
You don't have weapons. You
I-
have
I do.
spicy hands.
I do have a weapon. I just don't really use it for combat, more or less. Unless it's messing with John here.
What are you doing with the first real available day since everything fell apart?
Well, honestly, there's not a whole lot a goblin like me can do at the moment, but if Arden isn't doing anything crazy or needs some help with finding his nephew, then I might assist him with that with my wonderful oracle powers. Otherwise, I'm just going to be burning things and eating things.
Well, Arden.
Arden knows that, especially with what's going on in the city right now, he's probably not going to have much luck going out and looking and asking questions, because most of the people he'd want to ask questions of are slightly, busy trying to not have their businesses be overrun. So Arden is on a different mission today. Arden is sick and tired of the quartermaster hating his very guts and despising his soul.
How many critical failures on a diplomacy
All right.
check can I make in
So-
one day?
I'm sure whatever you're planning on doing will make it better.
He would like to make him custom earplugs that have a type of spell like sculpt sound in them, so that when somebody talks to him, it turns into something that he likes and he doesn't have to hear their voice.
This is the quartermaster who hears whatever he wants anyway, right?
Yeah, but now reality faces his fantasy.
Okay. This is that a spell that you have? Sculpt Sound?
No, but it's a level 3 spell, and I would hope I could buy it someplace here, or have somebody be able to cast it on it or do something with it. I'm actually not sure how like custom items work, where you put a spell in an
Right.
item.
Yeah, you just need to have it provided by. You need to either hire. I think you could probably do it with a scroll, or you would need to. You could do it with the scroll if you could use the scroll, or you have to hire a spellcaster to aid you in the construction process.
So
to
I guess
have the spell
that's what I would
available.
do.
As you're looking around for that, you know what everyone but John, because he is wearing the most armor, Floblin?
I think that there might be more points coming.
That could make sense. Well, there is a point for Floblin. Everyone but John, who's wearing the most armor. A hero point for Floblin. He might have a stack. He might have a stack and be coming through.
I mean,
with more.
he said it's been a
You've
while
got
since
one
he's.
already.
Hasty
When was
block.
armor?
It was the best I could do.
I blocked it with my
Put an
face.
ally in the place.
But
Oh, this is hilarious.
you could head out and try to find a scroll. Would probably be the easiest way to do it. But scrolls, third level's not particularly powerful magic, but it is certainly. It's on what?
Excuse me.
Why? It is.
Boomer.
It's muted. I'm looking at it. It's muted.
Get boomered.
You might have multiple volume scales,
I'm
and you might
looking at
have.
the 4 of them.
Oh,
You know what,
We turn it on and we
Nick?
turn it off
Nick,
again.
life finds a way.
well, that finds a way.
We turn it on and we turn it back off and we hope
the
that
phone,
works.
Blind
the
trade
phone
this,
has
'cause I can't really
evolved
use it.
to
But-
overcome the
It
silence.
has taken your
Yeah,
personal
it is
preference in
decided
mind
that mute is no longer a setting that it will have.
when
will,
it doesn't want to.
It will blow sounds as it pleases.
You're just the user. What do you know?
Modern technology summarized. Heading out into town, third level's not a particularly potent magic, but it's definitely relatively strong. It's beyond even most apprentices that would have studied for some years in the academy probably would not have quite come to grips with magic of that power of that kind of power yet. And the places that sell that that level of magic are also going to be places that are aware of their potency. And as you look around Arden, you would find yourself unable to demonstrate the level of magical competence necessary. As a 4th level character, you would not be strong enough to be able to purchase 3rd level magic. You wouldn't be able to demonstrate to anyone who would be selling that you are competent enough to be trusted with such an item. So you would not be able to simply go purchase a scroll of a 3rd level spell. But checking one place, checking another, even heading up towards the university district, towards the academy to maybe find like a wider breadth of areas. Coming out of one of these shops, out near the edges of Midland, you would find a small group of people kind of gathered around on the street outside, looking much akin to the faces and the gatherings that you've seen throughout the town the last few days. These roving mobs that have gone from their rampant riots to just this kind of manhunt that have been put up for Fontaine in the last day or two. They would just be kind of lounging, just lurking around outside. Not after anything in particular, not moving, just outside the porch of this last library. And one of them would turn up to you, an older man, certainly in his 60s, his entire face almost wrinkled to a flattened shape, with a long, trailing gray beard hanging down past his chest as he sort of hunches over.
Good afternoon, grandfather.
You look like one of them ice pirates. You a shanty boy?
No, sir. I'm a druid.
And the rest of this group, probably half a dozen people, are very much standing between you and your road out here. What, that's some kind of your clan? One of your bone tribes?
No, sir. We commune with nature. We use the power of, earth and, water. Whatever our element happens to
And
be.
a woman that's next to him is sort of leaning against the post to support the porch here. That sounds like Ice Pirate talking to me.
I don't even know what that is.
Sort of looks up and down the road. Still not a lot of people out at this point. What are you doing in this city?
Well, you see, I came here to find my brother who was kidnapped, and then the riots broke out, and apparently I did
This
some.
older man kind of looks up at you. You got nothing but rocks up in that head of yours to be answering that question correctly.
You're right. That's exactly what I have. How did you know?
Ain't got much place here for your kind. I think you should be getting back up north to your people.
That's because you don't have imagination. You just need to imagine that I belong here.
He was never seen again.
You got some nerve. Taking your time in the wake of the king's death, your people worming their way into this city like they still belong here?
I don't know what people you're referring to.
Make me a society check. Druid who lives in the woods.
I got an 8.
You have no idea what he's talking about. You ice pirates and shanty folk, you have no clue what this guy is talking about.
No.
None of this makes any connection here.
No, really, I can prove I'm a druid. I can produce a tree straight from the ground.
You don't gotta prove nothing.
Out of the ground. A tree.
Your people
My people?
ain't doing nothing good here in Korvosa. Get
Oh, okay. Bye.
out of this city.
I
You see your face in here again, it ain't gonna be good. You go back to your bone leaders and they ain't gonna recognize you.
so
So you be getting while you can still get, boy.
are you loyal to the queen or not? Do you like her?
And the lady just kind of snorts. Well, loyal? Ain't even a word that I think your people understand, is it, Shanty?
Well, as much as this has been a really pleasant conversation, I think I'm gonna get out of here because you seem like very nice people, but I'm gonna go.
And they are still like between you and the road. You need to kind of like push through this group. They don't make room for you here.
Shanked.
Shuffling through, and they don't really move. You have to kind of like awkwardly, like a busy road, sidle your way through. And one of the men, as you get out, or as you push through towards the road, shoves you out into the street, where you are going to just fall prone on your face in dirt as he just rudely pushes you out into the street.
Get up, brush myself off. Good day to you. Keep walking where I was going.
Just leave away from this. Keep looking for something. Ref.
So, I got myself one of them fancy rune thingies, and I see how the other one's on the weapon. I ain't the one that put it there. But I do know this nice gun store where I got my arquebus from. And probably what's going to end up happening is, as I'm walking in, I'm going to see a certain someone picking up a big old gun sword that's a little too big for his britches.
This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's the gun, right? It's not as big as yours, but it's got a sword in it.
Yeah, they make those.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that. This is so cool. He's gonna put my runes all on this. This is like my new best friend. I'm walking around with this for like Oh, I have whatever else we have to do. This is the greatest thing ever.
Well, just keep in mind, reloading is a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, no. They figured that out. See, look. They got this rod thing here on the side, right? You push it up, and it's like a hook, right? It's like you push it all the way up, and you flip it. And when you put the cartridge, it's really great. They have like the powder in this paper thing, and the balls right at the front. You just put the whole cartridge in, slam it down, pop it up to the side, and you're good to go. You can shoot it. They let me shoot it like 3 times.
And this, he would have the proprietor of the shop, who is the main engineer, the inventor here, a small gnome with almost an afro of blonde hair just kind of perched up on his head. One, what looks almost like a jeweler's monocle, kind of permanently scrunched into his right eye. Standing there with his fine clothing hands folded before him and looks up. Ah, welcome in, Reth.
A pleasure to be meeting you again. You know,
This man is the reason.
This is the source of your enthusiasm.
Oh my God.
you know he would have bought literally the most expensive gun in here if you'd sold it to him, right?
This is actually pretty expensive.
I seek not to take advantage of the clientele that come through here, but only to teach, to help spread understanding of the wonders of invention and clockworks and black powder and what these mechanical creations can do for everyday life. You can have a standard sword like many others, or something far more inventive, far more useful.
I'm never picking up a regular sword again. This is the
You
cool.
probably ain't gonna need to, because even if the blade breaks, you beat him with the barrel.
Well, I could do that, but I mean, I just get the blade.
The blade
fixed.
is as sturdy as any other, Reth, I assure you that.
Yeah,
I
were
know.
you here seeking more ammunition?
Well,
Haven't seen you in quite some time.
I bought plenty enough last time. I actually haven't had to use too much of it. Today is more of a, well, you probably know already, but pull out the striking room. I got one of these thingamajigs here, and hefting my gun in the other hand. There's one already here on it, but it ain't the same one, and I don't know how to put it on there.
Well, I certainly I could help you out with that. I've already agreed to help fix a few for young Darren here with this new gun sword that he has.
This guy's great.
But given a couple of days, I could find some time in the backlog. I could have that for you in a few evenings. You drew a picture of it.
I drew a picture of it.
You drew a picture of your gun sword.
Well, how that? What is a gun sword? Like, think of it in your head. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense.
It's
Wait.
It doesn't.
Put table cam up.
I imagine it's
I want
just
everyone
like-
to see this.
a super bayonet. Like it's.
Is table cam dead? Or is it? It's Gherkin.
That's a gun sword.
There are gun swords that people have made. It's essentially a gun. That
I swear, if you say with a sword attached to it, I'm gonna throw something
that has
to you.
a sword attached to it.
I thought it
No,
was a sword with a gun attached.
No, like it's a gun.
you have
And
to
then
be
instead
able-
of a bayonet attached to the front, there's a sword that is mounted with multiple braces along the entire
No,
length.
stop. I'm literally.
That's
I'm
literally a
losing
thing.
IQ
yeah, but the problem
points
is you
here.
can't actually wield that thing. You
Yes,
need
you
a
can.
straight handle to wield a sword. You need a stock to be able to brace it against your shoulder, and you still need to have room to hold your hands. I had to put some thought into this.
Sword nerd versus gun nerd.
So
I care more about the gun than the sword.
Oh,
This-
that's why you have a gun and not a gun sword.
little gnome can certainly apply the runes for you, but it will definitely take a couple of days. Of course, if you leave your arquebus with me, Reth, I'll see to it, and come back perhaps Moon Day, and I should hopefully have everything organized for you.
Well, the big issue with that one is we'd probably end up gonna having to do a mission tomorrow.
A mission.
Yeah, got
You make this
myself
sound so grandiose. What are you, a member of the Royal Guard now?
pull out the badge. Well, sort of.
Oh, the regular guard.
They're just street rats.
Never took you as much fun for enlistment, Reth.
It's not enlistment so much as special recruitment. I ain't sworn an oath or nothing.
They let you use guns? I certainly haven't seen any of the traditional Korvosan guards out in the street wielding any of my creations, and there's been quite a few of them in the past week.
That's why it's a special recruitment. I ain't exactly a guard. They can't tell me no.
Fair enough.
Well,
If that's the cause, then I'll certainly expedite this as much as I can. I maybe
Love
could
that.
have it the day after tomorrow. Star Day, perhaps?
well, if you tell me what to do, I could take a swing at it myself. I know you're having your hands full with his weapon today.
Well, truth be told, you're quite comfortable with your arquebus. You've had it for some time, I imagine. Well, I've heard tale of many of the things you've brought down with it. You've had some interesting hunts in the wilds outside of Korvosa, haven't you?
Just the other day in an alley, there was an Otyugh. It filled the whole freaking thing, and he put a hole straight through it.
Darren's told me about 4 times about what you've done with this Otyugh. It seems to have quite inspired him.
It was messy.
Well, here's the interesting part. Though these runes themselves are intrinsically magical, I have not a lick of magical power under my command. Everything I do is through engineering and architecture and invention. It's all clockwork and mechanical. These runes have all the magic that you need, and the application of them, or rather the transfer from the stone that they're currently held in is, well, it's simple, not necessarily a correct word for it, but less complicated than you might imagine.
It's just a transfer sheet.
You just sort of...
You just get it wet.
It's carbon copy.
You get your iron, and you just...
No. You can get cheaper versions that are like temporary tattoos. They only last for like a
You
day.
just lick it. Yeah, you just-
And he comes back up with a very small, wide but thin leather-bound I don't know if manual is even the correct word here. It's just 2 very, very fine, barely more than sheets of parchment themselves, ends on a couple of pages within. This is a reference manual for the application and transfer of magic runes to tools and weapons. It's something that I kept close by for many years when I was getting acclimated to the things, but I haven't had to reference it in quite some time. I know everything in here by heart by now. And well, honestly, Rat, you've been a fine customer for some years. Here.
Well, thank you. I reckon I can use this to at least take a swing at it. Hey, worst
if you
case
come across
scenario.
any problems, bring it back by the shop, and as I said, I'll have it done within a couple of days.
Yeah.
Applying these things for Darren here is going to take me much of the afternoon and the evening, and then I have other obligations tomorrow. But as I said, Star Day, if you still need it, bring it down and I'll see what I can do.
Well, I appreciate it.
Now, that'll be however much a gun sword costs.
It's like 15 gold. It's like, it's crazy.
So then probably 20 total then for the application of the runes as well.
Yep. And I've got I've got this color spray wand I can cash in, and I've got this other. Actually, I guess that's the potency rune that I was gonna. No, that's what I actually already paid for that. Yep. So, and then I have the reward from there. So yes.
There you go.
And bullets. I need lots of those.
13 gold bulk two-handed.
18 gold then.
Done.
To buy the gun sword with the 2 runes moved over to it.
Range 50 feet.
So you're getting one applied to your scythe, you're getting one applied to your gun sword, and you are going to...
Attempt to put one on the arquebus myself.
Are you training craft?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. You're going to do this yourself.
I'm a gunslinger. I have to be trained in crafting.
Oh, that's fair. It's actually requisite.
Is it?
You get it for free.
Yeah, as you head back to the Citadel, you would see that most of your team here is out running various errands, doing various things throughout the city. You wouldn't have gone very far, but Floblin will be back here, just inside the gate. I imagine sat down, burning some things in a small heap, as he is wont to do.
You do not get it. I took it.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm just literally sitting there with like a metal bowl of burnt bacon and like another bowl of charcoal. Just
So, how's your day going?
This is you, Russ.
Pretty good. Well,
What's your giant gun?
I would have it with me because I'm going to put the rune on myself.
You still-
right. Sorry,
Well-
my bad.
No, it's fine. I have a slight concern.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be on his way back, would he?
Darren? Probably
No.
not.
He's at the shop waiting.
Okay. Well,
I'm looking at all this
Yeah.
stuff.
so
I imagine
It's literally a-
John. What would you be up to after you had delivered your side?
Wandering.
So you wouldn't be back there to study the way?
No, if Floblin's there, I'm not going back there.
I mean, you literally put a kid in a candy shop or a
That's
gun
fair.
shop.
It's definitely just going to be you and Floblin.
So I told Darren about the gun shop where I got Arquebus from, and
You know what?
giddy.
You know, that's what kids do. You of all people know. It's like me and shiny things that are easily burnable. You put me in you put it in front of me. I have to burn it. It's just instinct.
Well, he bought one of these here guns attached to a sword.
Wait, they make guns attached to swords?
And knives and rapiers and axes and spears and other guns.
I mean, you just might as well. You just might as well put me on top of your arquebus, and then I'll just, put flaming bullets on our enemies.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure they'll make that eventually. Ingenuity is a hell of a thing. The problem is he bought himself a gun sword, and I ain't so confident he knows how to use it.
I've shot it 3 extra times.
Well,
He don't know the first thing about cleaning them. He's gonna go to pull the trigger, and it's gonna explode in his face.
he puts his bowl of bacon down for just a moment, cleans off the grease, and well, I can tell you this much. If it's one thing about growing up, it's learning from your own mistakes. So if he blows a couple fingers off or two, that's how I learn, right?
Well, I'm more concerned about him ending up with hair like yours.
Nothing wrong with my hair. It just goes out from time to time.
Well, it's more the flaming aspect. I'm sure it doesn't bother you, but if it was to happen to any one of us, it would not be fun. It'd be a little painful. Smell really bad too.
That's okay. I'll patch you all up. I got, me white flame that heals people, remember?
Yeah, I'm not concerned about him dying or nothing. Just
Fire.
perhaps a bit of scarring and not wanting to use a gun anymore because he messed up. But we'll see how it works out. I'll at least teach him the basics.
A little trauma always builds character. I mean, look how I turned out. I'm fine.
John, as you're wandering around town, looking at the state of things, you're not from Korvosa, but even just in the time that you've been here, you can see that a lot of the presentation has changed. There used to be a great number of shops that were small stalls out in the streets. Even higher-end shops like jewelers with some of their wares in display, if not even just in the windows, but in cases like out in front of the shop to catch the view of passersby. Basically all of that is gone now. Everything has been brought inside. Window displays are left empty. In many cases, even with like large boards, just kind of haphazardly nailed up over them. The door still open for people to come inside and search, but hiding everything from the mobs, and the looters, and the vandals that have been so prevalent in Korvos these last few days. So peeking around, trying to see things that are interesting, to look into any shops. You can no longer just walk down the street and see the neat things. But as you are passing, there are some window displays up, and there is a small pawn shop near the edge of Pillar Hill and Slope, a little over to the northwest towards the Midland docks. Still not far from the Citadel. Where you would see they have a small, strange little blackstone cat-like carved figurine, an odd little twirled piece of glass with colored sand inside it, and a ring. Now you would look at, and I imagine double take, because it is a ring that you recognize.
Wait a minute. That's could not be this easy. There's no way. I'm gonna walk into the shop. There's that ring you have on display out there. Where'd you get it from?
That one we actually purchased from, I believe it was a traveling craftsman just some few days ago. It's one of our newer pieces within the store. I don't expect it to last terribly long. It's not the first asking about it.
That can't be right. The ring was stolen from me a few days ago. I'm gonna pull out the stupid little dummy ring. Like, it's supposed to be a matching ring to this, but it's a family heirloom. How much did you pay for it?
Describe your ring to me again.
It's a shoot. I can't remember how to describe it myself. I didn't write it down.
I remember.
Is it ring shaped?
Huh?
Is it
It is ring shaped. My mind
like
is
this?
like
Okay.
this.
I remember you saying it had a blue.
Actually, I remember
like
what
this.
it
It
is.
had a blue gem in it.
has-
Flaubin remembers? Question
Yep.
mark?
Believe it or not, I actually do remember.
Giant brain?
So, flexing big brain here. It was a kind of a brass band, very thin, a little twisted, and like a little bit of silver on top, and it
Okay.
had like your family's crest and on top of it.
It was like a lace. The ring, the ring work itself was like a lattice pattern coming up
Yeah.
around to it, to a very dark amethyst set into it.
Okay.
So, and I think it was gold and like some
And your
silver.
dummy ring that you made is the dummy ring that you made. So like, right.
Dummy ring that
was gold,
my
I bet.
sister made.
Oh, so it's not a piece of crap. It does actually like mostly. It's
It
not.
it looks like it, but it's made out of cheap material.
Right. And she looks at it. Oh. Well. To be frank, it's set with a semi-precious stone, and the band itself is brass, so it's not an extremely valuable item, but it is one that does look quite fine given the raw materials that have gone into it. And she seems kind of. You can see her eyes sort of flitting to all the various sheathed weapons that you have on you, because even minus the scythe, you're down to 11 weapons that are hanging off your body.
Close enough, yeah.
I do very much apologize. I obviously couldn't possibly know the history of the thing, but given that we've put an investment into it, I can't.
I intend
give it to you.
I intend to buy it back from you. I want to know how much you paid for it.
Oh,
I don't want you to lose out the money from a sham man who stole from me. That isn't right.
well, I appreciate that. That's kind. Here, I'll make you a deal. Fine enough, given that, well, you bear a near identical matching replica here. I have no reason not to believe your story. Given its make, its midland value, I'd give it to you for 8 gold.
Fair enough. That's fine by
Make me a
me.
perception check.
Okay.
Unless you're just so
I
overwhelmed
will
to do
make
this. So,
I will make a perception check. I am super overwhelmed, but 27.
The 27. Though she is a little slightly concerned by your amount of weapons and your laser focus on this thing and your possession of a replica and the claim it's stolen and all that. She's not totally out of her element. She runs pawn shops. Probably not the last or the first time this has happened. Someone's coming someone stole that from me. She's like, well, that sucks. It's 10 gold. And she's, for a ring that is brass and a small, semi-precious amethyst set in it, 8 gold is, it's not a total robbery, but that's pretty up there.
All right, then. Well, I'm still going to give you 8 gold because honestly, I have my ring back. I'm happy. You get money. You're happy. But don't lie to me in the future.
Lie to you.
Well, he goes, the price isn't right. There's no way you paid 8 gold for that.
Well, of course, I didn't pay 8 gold for it, but if I sold all of my goods here for the price that I acquired them for, we wouldn't have a business. I have to take a cut, you understand? It's a pawn shop, sir. It's how we function.
Nothing going on behind these eyes. But whatever. Here's your 8 gold.
Thank you. And she would, with a small ring of tiny little keys that she has attached to her belt, open the back of the display case and slide it open and pull the ring out and hand it to you. I am sorry for the circumstances, of course, but
If you ever lose it again,
Make
you
me-
know where to
make me-
find
make
it.
perception check if you're sus.
I'm not sus. He's just looking at it, making sure there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
it.
the name of her store is the Chess Shop because everyone who comes in is turned to a pawn.
23.
Oh,
A 23, looking this over, it is. You haven't seen it in a while, and it is almost exactly how you remember it. This is made of similar materials, but this stone set atop. You're no jeweler, but you're very familiar with that stone particularly. This doesn't catch light the same way. It doesn't refract the same way. It's not the same kind of stone. You don't know if it's not an amethyst or if it's a different kind or what, but this is not the same ring. But it is so identical that it was clearly made in imitation of it. There's no way random chance would produce something so similar. I believe yours even had an engraving around the inside, which is present. It's clearly an intentional copy of what you lost. but it's pretty good.
This isn't right. Where did you say you got this ring from?
A traveling craftsman had come through. He it was his only piece that he had available. He was, given the state of the city, just forced to sell it for coin. I imagine it's an unfortunately common story these days.
Can I perception to see if she's lying about that?
You
just
don't get the feeling she's
because-
lying about that. Like it's she would have no reason
to
to.
lie about it, yeah.
She is not a jeweler. She doesn't make these things, and
This isn't the right ring. This is a replica. This is a fake.
well,
Heavens. All right, Ethan. Well, thank you for your help. Do you remember what he looked like or anything like
and
that?
she still has the gold that you gave her before she opened the thing. She still has your 8 gold.
Yes.
Let me think back. He was, he didn't look terribly, I don't know, comfortable, I suppose, in the city. He was, about middling height, slightly darker complexion, black hair just kind of loose and long, almost unkempt. He wore a bunch of rather peculiar, almost vestments more than clothing, I suppose. Looked like he'd be more at home outside the city's walls than in them, truth be told, but who knows past. Sorry, I know it's not a terrible amount to go on, but I'm sorry you didn't find what you seek. But and she takes the ring, and did you put the ring down, or
I'm still holding
are you
it.
still holding it? She's like, well, it's hopefully a fine substitution for what you lost.
Oh, it's absolutely not the fine substitution at all. But thank you for your help. And I'll still buy the ring, I guess, for your troubles.
I wish you luck in finding yours.
Thank you. I'll need all the luck I can get. Excellent.
So, later that afternoon or that evening, probably, I suppose, not too long after sundown, after your day's activities, after John would have collected his scythe with the runes affixed to it. Darren would have received the new gun sword, +1 striking gun sword, and Arden would be making his way back, unfortunately, with no magical sculpting sound in his possession. And at that point, I would be interested in a craft check from you, good sir.
Did you charge it?
I did twice.
Clearly.
Hey.
24.
24 will succeed.
Nice.
23 will still succeed. That's like for a striking, it's a 4th level item. I think it's DC 19.
I rolled a 16.
So you almost got it on the die there. With this manual that the gnome had given you from the Curiosities of Engineering, it is weirdly simple. What you're doing is basically cloning this rune onto the stock or the barrel of your gun. It is precise, but it's not complicated. And then using that to infuse the magic held within the rune on the stone to the rune that is on your weapon, dissolving the stone in the process. It's an interesting little interaction with magic that you've probably never had before, but it's not something that requires any magical knowledge or understanding or aptitude to do. He wasn't wrong. Anyone can do this as
book
long
says so.
as you replicate it well enough onto your weapon. And the group of you, I imagine, would all come back together in your barracks that evening, all with fancy new runed weapons in hand. Floblin full of delicious burnt ash and garbage. And Arden,
new.
unfortunately, not having found, well, really the opposite of success out in the city.
It's the journey, not the destination.
That was a bad journey.
Could have been worse. You know what? I was stoic and I ignored them. I could have engaged, but I am not John Double Homicide
Didn't you
Killer.
eat dirt?
That's fine. I'm a druid. I love dirt. There's stones under there. It's good.
I mean, isn't dirt essentially just mushed up rock?
It's fine.
It's not actually.
Sounds
but-
like he's just coping.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start a fight with an old man. That's just wrong.
Do you tell them what happened?
Yeah.
Maybe we don't let you wander off by yourself. I mean, to be fair,
What? Should I have fought them?
No, but I mean, they probably wouldn't have harassed you if you had, maybe one of us who actually like lives here with you.
Oh, trust me, I would have given that old time a piece of my mind.
Okay, maybe not Floblin.
So, if any of you have any like Korvosan lore at all that you're trained in,
I have society.
or
I have Sable Company lore,
Sable
which
Company?
is rather defunct
any
at
of
this
you who are
point.
trained in society, which, if I remember correctly, is literally nobody.
I have society.
You trained?
I'm not trained. I have a +1.
We have intelligence.
I'll do
Any
it.
of you that are untrained and no, you wouldn't know either. You're
He
not,
just wants to roll it.
you're not familiar
17.
with. It is a weird story of whatever happened to Arden.
So
What's wrong, John?
I thought I found my ring.
Oh, you did?
I did not.
You did not?
I found this. A replica. A fake. Looks very realistic. It looks like the real thing.
What are you talking about? This is exact. If I saw this ring, I would think this was exactly a ring. It's exactly as you described it to me.
Oh, it looks
It
like-
even has your inscription on it. How could that possibly not be your ring?
I hold it up to the light. It doesn't catch the lights the same way.
It doesn't catch the light. What do you mean it doesn't catch the light? You a jeweler now?
No, I've just been staring at the ring for as long as I could remember.
What are you talking about? You haven't had it to stare at for quite some time. Are you sure you're not just looking at this ring through rose-colored glasses?
That stone sure is pretty.
What do you think
If you're
about
not going to use it, can I have it back?
Have it back?
The stone? You had the stone before?
No. If he's not going to use the ring, can I have it?
The stone. No, the
Well-
ring itself.
Well, both of them, because then I could use the rock for something else.
You could carve another letter word into it, I guess.
Well, I don't know. It's
kinda
really
small.
pretty though. If it's not the real thing though, you don't want it, right?
Make me a deception.
Just staring at him.
So, Reth, you want
Do you
some
need the
popcorn for
believe
this
rock?
invitation?
No, I've got the Inspire rock.
Wouldn't this be the Dare Rocks territory?
I think that's the number.
Is that a 14? Yeah.
What's your perception, DC?
18.
Oof. Oof.
Arden,
Yes.
what do you know about this?
Okay, you were so upset, and I was really thinking that you were never ever gonna find the ring, and then you were gonna stay upset, and you'd be really sad. And so I went and I made a replacement, and I put it there, and then I was just gonna give you the proceeds of what we made from it, and then you'd have a ring, and I hoped you'd think it was yours, and you would be happy again.
You are never going to find that ring in this city.
Yeah, I was hoping it would work because I just wanted you to not be sad.
I just tossed the ring on the table. You owe me 4 gold.
They would have paid you 12 silver for it.
That's fine. Giving him 4 gold.
I'm going to bed.
Well, it is a really pretty ring.
Thank you for the thoughts. It means a lot to me. It really does. And I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm just. I wish you could find it, but I don't know. But maybe we will. Maybe this is a sign. Maybe the fact that you. No, it's not a sign. I don't know. I'm gonna.
Maybe
wear
you
it.
should pull those cards and see. Maybe that'll tell him whether he finds the ring. But I need Reth to take the cards out first.
I hate you.
Well, it's the thought that counts.
It is just such a
It was really good intention.
And hit him with the disappointed dad. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Oof. Oof. So much oof.
Without much else to, the mood perhaps soured. Not much else to really follow that evening. I imagine the group of you would trickle off to your own rest. The following, I guess it would be Fire Day, seeing as we've established the day after tomorrow is Star Day.
My favorite day.
Awakening
Because it's Fire Day.
to a knock on the door of your barracks before the sun had even risen. It wouldn't be middle of the night, but it would be probably a little, maybe around those when you super early risers would just be starting to come together. But before the sun had even risen, a quick 3 reps on your door.
I didn't think anybody'd be awake as early as I am.
That's what I was thinking too.
I mean, I have to be up before sunrise so I can start my rictuals.
Shh, I'm communing with the rocks.
The rocks ain't gonna answer the door. Give me a minute.
Dan, aren't you supposed to be stable company? Aren't you supposed to be awake by now?
They haven't woken me up early in like a week.
To a figure that one of you would recognize. Standing there, and while the only art we have is an incredibly sad, depressed man with his breastplates emblazoned with the Korvosan Guard symbol.
I love him.
The watch captain. Much more upright. His hair in any way done. His face clean shaven.
You look good. You look so much better than when I found you on the streets, drunken and depressed and very sad about the woman you couldn't have.
Thank you.
You can see him.
Words then and now, John.
You can see him wanting to crawl back into bed as each word comes out of your mouth.
The field marshal needs your assistance. Apparently, you guys have been doing a lot more than just helping me on my dark days.
Anything for a friend. You're a friend now. We share a drink. That's how friends work.
Oh, God.
I take it you're Floblin,
Aye.
but the rest of you a bit harder to place.
I'm Reth. That's Darren. That's Arden.
Good to meet the group of you. I hear you've done a great number of fine services for the field marshal in my unfortunate absence. But we have a problem, and it's a
Don't
problem
we
that
always?
the guard can't easily deal with directly. I'll let her explain the long and short of it, I suppose.
Oh, the problem the guard can't deal with directly. You might have to leave your shield at home again.
I think you're probably fine with that. We just can't be sending people out, direct operation,
Awesome.
full regalia, tabards, and all.
No-
You're perfectly fine with your badges and shields and weapons and what all. It just can't be in official city business records is all.
Oh, like you want us to do something shady?
I don't think it's that.
Well, not as
I'll let
shady
you
as
do
last
something-
time.
Oh, the field marshal needs you to do something that can't be tied directly back to the guard.
Oh, well, if it's the
It's-
field marshal, she wouldn't want us to do anything shady.
Well, she sent us on like 2 other shady missions last time.
Yeah, but I don't think she wanted to
She's
send
up in her
us.
office with the ambassador right now, so if you would, please.
Oh, yeah, no,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course.
sure.
It's really early. Does she ever sleep?
I don't think what's happened. The timing of this one wasn't really hers to choose.
The wonders of magic.
And he would step aside and let the group of you come out, probably not really having had a ton of time to prepare in the morning as you would really want to. Certainly not the full bathed and groomed regime, but you could hopefully be awake and throw on some fresh clothes real quick if you need the time. But as you all filed past the watch captain here, who seems to have just been reinstated directly into his old role, he would stop and put a hand on John's shoulder as he goes by. Thank you. Seriously. How are you a lot?
I honestly had no idea what I was doing. I just didn't want to leave you out there.
Well, then I owe Lady Luck a lot, and you an equal share. Kind of claps you on the shoulder, and I will head over.
I'm actually going to offer a hand for a shake. Like, good luck to you, Zen. Hopefully you'll have better luck with love. It seems like you're just one of those saps who just don't have any luck at all.
Hopefully you have some luck up there with an angry Shoanti ambassador. I don't envy you, but, well, I guess you take the job not wearing a uniform. This is the kind of task you get.
Yes. All right, Zen.
Group of you head upstairs to Field Marshal Croft's office, where she is not, in fact, alone. She is joined by a figure sat in the chair in front of her desk, hands folded, his long, almost kind of ashen hair over what looks like it might be untreated hide robe. and a bone necklace drawn not just around his neck, but several areas, bracelets. One almost is like a wide sash, punctuated with a few large ribs across the side. And he turns the door as it enters, and you would certainly recognize the face paint, almost the visage of a skull painted across his face. You had seen this man briefly in passing, leaving Citadel Bolshevik some days ago. But as he sits here, his face is very much stern. Both of his eyes ashen white. Whether he is blind or not, difficult to tell as he appears to turn in regard to the group of you as you come in. And the field marshal standing behind her desk, hands folded behind her back, very much at like attention, or at least official stance here. Thank you. Close the door behind you, if you will. We have come into a bit of an issue, I'm afraid. This is Thousand Bones. He is one of the spiritual leaders of his Kwa, the clan of the skull. I don't know how familiar you are with Shoanti heritage or their culture.
Approximately not at all.
What's the
I
Shoanti?
mean, I might, maybe. Would knowledge religion help it? Oh, maybe?
It's not a religious thing, it's more a society thing. It's just
never
there's
mind
a
then.
different group of people.
That's a clue.
We have a problem. One of Thousand Bones' sons has been attacked. He was very viciously killed in the streets in a senseless assault. I don't know the motivation or the cause, but I do know that tensions between the city of Korvosa and your people, Thousand Bones, have never been exactly stellar. And this is something that they won't allow to go fully unanswered. He was lost at the hands of more just meaningless mob violence, but our problems aren't something that we can easily just explain away to the Qua. Thousand Bones, if you will, these are the finest men that I have available. They have not let me down once, and they have been an invaluable asset in the wake of the king's passing. And Thousand Bones, as he sits and he's still kind of looking, he hasn't turned his gaze from the group of you this whole time that the field marshal has been speaking. But only now does he slowly kind of roll his head back past the desk to her. There's a small, shallow nod, and then back around to address the group of you. My people have worked hard to understand those who dwell in Korvosa, and it seems each day we see new examples of how this city's people work just as hard to foster old hatreds. My grandson is dead, beaten to death by cowards in your city streets. I do not blame you, yet still Gaedren is dead, and my son and my kin are not as understanding as I. They wish to return to Skon Kwa in the Cinderlands to join with the Sklar Kwa to rally for war against your city. This would be disastrous for both of our peoples. The amends must be made. Our ways are not as yours. If a body does not go whole to the fires of our ancestors, the smoke of a warrior spirit does not rise to the great sky. If I could send Gaedren's body to the great sky with honor and dignity, his father and brothers may listen to me and stay their wrath. The talks of peace between my people and yours could continue. But he was not just murdered. His body was taken from the scene of his death, sold, a peddler of corpses, within your walls, to a necromancer known as Roth, a criminal to both of our people, he says back to the field marshal. I have spoken with the spirits. They have revealed to me that Gaedren's body has been taken to a place below this city's graveyard, a place the spirits call the Dead Warrens. With this knowledge, I could lead a group of my finest warriors into your cemeteries to retrieve Gaedren's body. But this would be seen as an act of aggression by your queen. falls to you, it seems, to make amends for what has been done. You bring me Gaken's body, lest we be forced to recover him ourselves. And although it pains my heart to say it, we will not be gentle in these matters. And then he stands up from his chair, turns, nods again to the field marshal, and immediately makes for the door.
Huh.
So why is there a known necromancer in the city?
And as he leaves, the field marshal brings her hands around to her brow and sits down in her chair. There are a great many things in this city that I would see it rid of, but unfortunately life is rarely so easy.
It's exactly as a necromancer.
Oh, it's a special kind of spellcaster that likes to do things with dead bodies, like make them come back to life and hit you in the face and stuff.
But that's forbidden.
It is many practices illegal, and the rest very highly frowned upon indeed. Rolth has long been a thorn in the side of the Korvosan Guard in the city. He was a failed academy student and an absolute monster of a man. He was expelled from a Chelish academy for the degree of offenses practices committed, so you can only imagine the things that he's been getting his hands into. Butchering vagrants, stray animals, anything else he could get his hands upon. I believe he was expelled for trying to combine them into some kind of a golem.
Don't say the G
Why-
word.
What?
Exactly is he free for? Why do you not do something about him?
What's a golem?
Because the acts committed in the pursuit of magical knowledge on the Academy grounds are beyond the purview of the Korvosan Guard. Things are handled directly by themselves, or in the rare, I believe twice in the city's history times, that the Crown sees it fit to get itself involved.
So nobody's going to mind if a certain
Group of concerned citizens.
group of concerned citizens
Group
happen
of
to
concerned citizens that may well be acting in the interest of the Korvosan Guard, but very importantly are not an official Korvosan Guard operation. To recover the souled body of a Shoanti boy to a necromancer. This... Thousand Bones speaks truth. Peace between his people and ours has never really been easily come upon, and for understandable reasons. They are the original settlers of Korvosa. These are their lands. They were forced out by the Chelish army however many centuries ago. Understandably, I've never been quite too pleased to accept that. I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. But I do know that Korvosa ill needs more avenues of strife in its current state, and we don't want to see Skoan Kwa, or Skull Clan, descend upon our walls with whatever force they can muster. It won't be pretty for either side.
So
You know, somebody was that when I was on the street, they were calling me something like that.
Ice pirates
Yeah.
calling you shanties.
Yeah, what is that?
It's not a polite term, to be certain. I don't know where exactly it comes from, but shanty is just a place of ignorance, certainly.
So it's not related to this, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention. When I was out prowling around the streets, there's already rumors about the assassin being caught. You might want to prepare for that, whatever that means.
Right. And she, again, certainly doesn't look like she slept any more than she had the last time that you've seen her. And her stoic nature is visibly wavering a bit. Moment, just 1,000-yard stare into the desk.
We'll take care of this, Marshal.
Give me a perception check, whoever wants to make one.
Why do you like making perception checks?
Apparently, I ain't even looking at her because that was 1.
I got a 27.
We're all staring.
27.
We're all staring at her.
So, I mean, you are. You're all on the other
19.
side of the
Yeah,
desk. at her here.
19.
She's
I'm
sitting
just
there.
like
22.
looking down at my shirt or something.
25.
Anyone, the 22, 25, 27. The look on her face could easily be mistaken for one of kind of just a guarded concern, distress, fortifying herself for the certain hell that is coming. But that's not exactly what it is. And she might be hiding it as that as she can, but this is a look of guilt as you tell her this. Right. Just another wonderful day on the job, then.
Is everything all right with that the young miss who we brought back? Anything helpful? Any leads?
The matter is settled enough. Queen's Hand came with some royal guards. I don't know how they learned of Miss Fontaine's presence in the Citadel, but they took her back to the castle. I can't say no to the Queen, of course.
Investigation, maybe? Interrogation? Evidence that she didn't do anything? Whereas any of that able to be found?
From what little our mages had time to speak with her, all that we didn't really learn much of anything. She claims very, very confidently to have no connection to any of this, and it's not a quick process, but I hadn't turned up anything yet to believe any reason otherwise. But she will undergo a proper trial at Castle Korvosa for her crimes. It's out of our hands now, I'm afraid.
Well, it's not like we can predict everything going on. Couldn't have stopped it.
Well, then, where is this graveyard at? When are we leaving? Today? Right now?
I would imagine this is something we want to be settled as soon as possible.
That's what I thought.
Korvosa's graveyards, the Grey District, you might have know them as, are on the south end of the city. They are riddled with a wide assortment of underground chambers. Some of them have been dug by ghouls or other monsters in the hundreds of years the city has been here. Some are ancient Shoanti burial grounds. The Church of Pharasma actually walks some of these paths to keep them clear of demons or other prowling beasts or undead, but the Grey District is a massive, tangled affair, and they certainly can't patrol it all.
Bless the Pharasmites. They do a good job, what they can.
They focus on containing the problems with undead and necromancy as well as they can, but from what I understand, as soon as they are able to wipe out one problem, two more arise. Now, according to Thousand Bones and what he told me before you arrived, the dead Warrens are in the Potter's Ward, which is the nameless myriad graves of the poor and homeless heap upon themselves. The church doesn't really walk there, and neither do guards nor do mourners. I'm afraid it's going to be a rather ill-attended place, and there's very little I can tell you about what you can expect to find, save for a location. The dead Warrens appear to be one of his people's ancient burial vaults. You should find access to it in chambers somewhere beneath Potter's Ward. This is hopefully being able to put stock in these spirits that Thousand Bones could make contact with. But I know nothing of their magics or how they function.
I'm gonna need to finish preparing for the day. I was interrupted, and there's a couple more things I need to put together before we leave.
Oh, I gotta clean that gun, too.
Yes.
Can't have it blowing up in my face. There's a manual.
Well, ready yourselves as you can. If they were sold off to Rolf, a necromancer that has long been a thorn in the city, and he is unfortunately quite adept at his craft. He's had some years to train and hone without the oversight of the academy, and I can only imagine what that has spiraled into. Expect anything. Rolf is more a monster than he is a man. That was true even when he was still a student.
Sounds like he's the type to resist arrest.
He is the type that there would be absolutely no love lost if the worst should have to come to him in the pursuit of your investigations. I suspect he might be responsible for a large number of additional murders over the last decade, but it's been near impossible to pin any evidence to him properly. Everything I suspect him of being involved in includes horrible, bodily mutilation.
Ew.
So what you're saying is, I'm allowed to burn him if I get to him? Get to him?
Well, of course, I don't officially condone any acts of vigilantism. The best that you could do would be to find any evidence that would solidly allow us to bring proper cases against Lamm and see.
Wait, you said lamb?
Rolf Lamm, yes.
What?
Wait, that's his.
That makes sense, actually.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
You were the. So much has happened the past few days, I forgot about the reports I'd gotten when you first arrived here. Yes, this is Gaedren's son.
What? You mean he might have Colin?
Or he may have know where he is.
I certainly hope this one don't have Colin.
Yeah, I would hope he doesn't have colon as well.
But he could know where he is. He could know what
That's-
happened to him.
That's
I
possible.
would certainly hope for your and his sake that he doesn't.
So
Well
can, do we have permission to kill him?
Well, we
Please.
don't have explicit permission
You
to kill
certainly
him.
have permission to defend yourselves as necessary. And as I said, I can't officially condone any acts of vigilantism, especially when murder is concerned. But I can tell you if Blackjack got a hold of him, he wouldn't see the light of day again. And Blackjack breaks this code for a near no man.
And we have to put the undead to rest too.
Yeah, basically, we're being told, do what you gotta. If he's alive when you come back, so be it.
Right.
We have the man who sold Gaken's body to Rolth in custody. He is a rather simpleton named Elkaris. He told everything. We told him what was going on, how much trouble he was in. Elkaris said he delivered the body in a wheelbarrow to a partially collapsed mausoleum deep in Potter's Ward near the southern edge, far on the outskirts. He said there was a toppled and headless statue of a sword-wielding gargoyle laying in the dirt near the entrance, and he was simply told to leave the body behind the gargoyle. This does match up what Thousand Bones told us about the Shoanti burial grounds, so that's as good a place as any to begin your search.
Listen, well,
Well,
let's get ready.
right.
What if
Now-
we're walking into a trap?
Oh, we probably are. We'll just have to deal with it.
You just got to be ready for anything.
That's
Now,
why we put the goblin out front.
There's not a single plan out there that accounts for Floblin.
I mean, ironically, taking care of some undead is probably one of my specialties at
From
some
what I heard
point.
about everything you've accomplished with near every task you've been saddled with so far, there isn't a single plan that accounts for any one of you,
Well,
much less the five of you together.
There was never
That's
a plan
true.
in the first place. We're very bad at planning things.
If you go into it with no plan, the enemy can't predict your actions.
I mean,
I suppose that's
Neither can your allies.
certainly
It's-
one rather confident way of looking at it.
Lack of training can be an advantage sometimes. The stupider you are, the less they can plan for your attacks.
What the heck are you all talking about?
I have no idea.
Now, he's got a point there, because lack of training is what I was about to ask you. Did he even give you a gun cleaning kit?
Oh, of course he did. He sold it along with it, and he gave me a manual, too. He's really big on manuals, which is
Okay.
great. Actually, it works out really nicely. Although maybe if you could look over my shoulder while I do this the first time.
Wait, you don't got to clean it unless you fired it yesterday.
I
Now-
may have fired it a few times
I
yesterday.
need to clarify
clean
this, and I hope it doesn't become relevant, but given Rolth's suspected MO, Thousand Bones and the Skull Clan's rituals require the whole of the body.
What if... if he's taking it into pieces... Does it have to be... I know he needs the whole body, but does it have to be whole? Or, like, if there were pieces, can we get them and kind of
We're trying to
put it in a sack?
This entire operation is basically us as the city of Korvosa groveling on our hands and knees to the Skull Clan to forgive us for the murder of Gaken. So if the best we can do is a bunch of body parts in a sack, hopefully it'll be enough for them.
Maybe it'll be a
Gruesome as
nice
it is.
sack.
I feel sick to my stomach now.
I hope that this isn't something that you have to concern yourselves with, but I'd imagine Gaken's body hopefully will be somewhat distinctive. He was about 18 years old, short brown hair, a very distinctive scar from a firepelt's claw on his left cheek. He was a Shoanti of age. He has a great many extensive and distinctive tribal tattoos covering most of his body. It's, I would hope, unlikely any other freshly killed Shoanti are within the dead warrens today, so I imagine it shouldn't be difficult to identify his body at the very least.
I don't think finding him once we know where he is going to be the problem.
I understand this task is far more gruesome, and admittedly, very potentially much more perilous than those that you've undertaken in the name of the Korvosan Guard in the past. But
Sorry, you should have seen the fish warehouse you went through.
If he's got my cousin, there's nothing I won't do to get him back.
Your nephew, your cousin, or your brother?
I keep changing it to see if you remember.
It's your nephew the first time you told me, but then you said cousin, and then you said, I don't know which one's the real one.
Well, would we stop helping if it wasn't one or the other?
Anyways, it's a very hard story to follow.
Exactly.
stay safe. Do what you have to do to protect yourselves. Again, Rolf Lamm is a cretin. A creature that should not have been allowed to roam the streets freely for as long as he has, and I would not put absolutely anything past him, especially if pressed.
Well, something tells me that, Marshall, that he's going to probably put up a bit of a fight and not let us waltz in there, so I think we'll be bringing him in one way or another.
Do what you must.
Right.
Prepare as you can. We need to see this matter dealt with swiftly. Every hour passed is another hour that Thousand Bones clan has to stew in their rage. And if his sons, in their fury, return to the clans empty-handed, if they decide to leave the city before we can provide them the body of Gaedren, those motions will be unstoppable. But do prepare. That is all.
Alright, then. Preparations.
Marshall.
Changing up my entire spell list.
So I got something special for you.
Can't be more special than this.
It is.
You're gonna get a great gun sword test.
So you know what's nice about a gun sword?
It's a gun and also a sword.
I mean, that alone,
You can put suppressors on it.
I gotta tell you, this is pretty terrific.
So I'm gonna hand you 5 suppressors from my stockpile.
Are those like water bottles?
Basically, what's going to happen is you put it on the end of your gun, you pull the trigger, and it makes a instead of a bang.
That's the bang was the coolest part, though.
I mean,
Well, the point is you can fire it once and no one knows you fired it.
I'm gonna go do some morning prayers and clean my weapons and get ready for the day.
as am I.
You basically just use some glue. I'll show you.
I want to get glue all over my brand new gun sword.
I would imagine it's kind of close to sunrise, right?
It would be at this point, probably like 30 minutes out from sunrise. You'll
All right,
certainly see the
'cause-
light starting to bleed into the horizon.
Because
said
by
about
technicality,
corking
I
your
have to
spear.
do my religious
And now you're
practices. I
corking
have
the
to
gun.
wait till sunrise. That actually
Oh,
says
okay.
it for Labika.
Fair enough. So you'd have probably like an hour and a half.
Oh, that's
of
plenty of time then.
Readying yourself. Well, I mean, that's the time that it would take. You just need to wait for sunrise before you can do your thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have your hour of preparation. An hour and a half of readying, teaching Darren the very basics of using a gun and not,
Shooting himself in
being
the
worse
foot.
for himself or all of you than it is for the people at the other side of the room. But
Go to swing it, pull the trigger. Oh, sorry.
Bang! Oh no.
are there any particular preparations that the group of you are making before you head to the Dead Warrens?
I don't even know what I'm expecting. Necromancer, dead people.
Do I?
If anybody have a religion, anyone trained in religion, could definitely try and throw a knowledge check to put some knowledge together.
The only religion I know is praying to Aristotle every morning.
There's the 20.
Oh, I got a dirty
Did you
20.
train in religion?
Yeah.
30, 20, natural 20. Anyone else?
I've trained in religion.
What is religion?
So the dirty 20, what you would know most about, perhaps, is the actual practice. You would have, you understand some degree of magic. It's not like you studied. You're not a wizard. You just Labiko blesses you, and now you fart fire sometimes.
Actually, I do that naturally because of my mum.
But you would know a bit about the abilities these necromancers have, and it's necromancy itself is an off-the-line and very misunderstood school of magic. What you do is necromancy. You actually soothe. You don't heal. Is soothe?
No, it's
No,
actually
heals.
You
heals.
heal. You do heal.
It is
you
heal.
divine. You're not a cult.
Yeah.
Your healing is necromancy.
Yeah.
Basically, anything that manipulates the force of that is life. is necromantic magic, for better or for worse, positive or negative, the two sides of it. And as much as it is raising skeletons and zombies to do your evil bidding, it is also the light of Sarenrae, tending to wounds and treating not just injuries, but sicknesses and ailments. Though everything that they've said about this Rolth guy definitely seems like it's probably more the raising skeletons and zombies, negative energy kind of necromancy.
Well, the difference is a necromancy school of magic versus a necromancer.
That's fair. That's fair. You would know that most of these things, most of the magics they wield, are things that tear directly at your life force. This is not like a fireball or a lightning bolt you can dodge, or a sword that is hitting you. It is things that are going to magically alter your very essence. And it's, with your resources, near impossible really to take specific precautions against that. But a lot of it is not so much like a mental thing as it is like a physical thing. You know, a lot of this stuff that is necromancy, bad touch magic, is fortitude.
Yep, that's what I figured.
So, literal physical hardiness, stoic nature helps you out perhaps a lot more than a steady mind.
He's dumber than a bag of bricks, but man, we can't use magic on him.
You, Reth, perhaps would know a little bit more about... It's not impossible. Like, undead exist in Galarian. They're around. They're a nuisance, and there are plenty of crappy necromancers in and around Korvosa. It's not even impossible that you've run afoul of some a couple of times. So you, at the very least, would be a man who knows the difference between a zombie and a skeleton.
One has flesh.
One has flesh, but one does not have flesh. One's got just bonitis. Both horrible amalgams of necromantic magic.
You know what works really well on undead?
And pure evil.
Guns.
You don't say.
You would know that your gun, your chunky concussive arquebus, is very effective at blasting apart skeletons. Not so much zombies.
That's why you aim for the head.
Who are relatively, which is weird. Your gun is super good. Not great, you know, the thing that canonically, like, fantasy archetype zombie killer 101. Not great, actually, because neither piercing nor bludgeoning damage is super effective against them. But the bludgeoning raw force of your bullets just blast zombies to pieces, or skeletons to pieces.
And zombies, to be fair.
I mean, if you hit them hard enough.
You know, if you get the critical hit,
You get a
that's the
critical
headshot, and that puts the zombie down.
Problem zombie, you just got to get real good. It's definitely harder to put them down with
What's
it.
fun about zombies is they're also technically skeletons on the inside.
Technically, all humans are
We're all
skeletons on the
skeletons.
inside.
Wait, if I attack specifically the skeleton on the inside of the zombie,
Called shot skeleton.
Cheater.
Makes him weak to bludgeoning damage. Bam. Ignore all the meat on the outside and get right to the shattery bits. After that time, sharing perhaps what little knowledge you might have about necromancy and the bad things.
well, if it's a skeleton, hit it with the flat of your sword, don't cut it. If it's a zombie, hit it with the blade on your sword, don't slap it.
Can't I just shoot them both?
I mean,
You can.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna burn everything.
A burning also is very effective, not so much on bones, though.
That would
True.
make sense now. that I think about
However,
it.
I'm pretty sure some of my divine magic might counteract some of that.
Yeah.
Well, the teachings of Erastiel says that if you hit them with a divine lance, I think it is, they tend to...
Shut up.
This is why we don't
Turn the
let you.
holy book to page 350.
There was a little left for the group for you to do, but head out down to the Gray Quarter. Past High Bridge, the southernmost kind of unofficial district of Korvosa. It is past what was once the outermost walls of Korvosa. There are on most areas some kind of layered castle walls as the city has expanded with a few hundred years that it's been here. But this Gray District, as it's called, is now just a walled-in, massive cemetery. It's not an official district, of course, so much as just a title everyone's given it. And in the wake of King Aedred's passing and all of the wanton violence that has just racked throughout the city, this whole section down here, that southeasternmost little nugget there, is probably the quietest and most peaceful place in the city. You have to go outside an entire set of walls, enclosing you in this sprawling graveyard, where first you would arrive to the areas immediately outside where the most important royals and nobility are interred with their massive crypts, their huge headstones and sculptures, before that gives way after a couple dozen yards to the more traditional, smaller icons of Abadar, Arostel, various gods spread throughout, or just flat stone headstones, interspersed occasionally with graves unmarked entirely. But further beyond that is Potter's Ward at the far end of the field. Just final resting ground for Korvosa's poor and homeless. Wide stretches of unmarked dirt hills. Many of them just wide mass graves, where those bodies just found throughout the city's alleys and streets are unceremoniously dumped. A corner basically never visited by mourners, as nobody interred here has anyone left who care enough to mourn them. Near the furthest edge of this, as it starts to fade from just the dirt hills to some small, simple stones, not headstones, but literal rocks that have been seemingly hand-chiseled by untrained craftsmen, just to mark various places where some people have at least visited once. It starts to bleed back into some occasional stones and mausoleums. And you would find the toppled, sword-wielding gargoyle without any real difficulty. That the Field Marshal Croft had where she told you the deal had taken place. The body had been left. And as you work your way through the Grey District here, through this huge graveyard that is like hundreds of yards across, what are you all doing, Loveland?
I actually had a quick game question real quick. Since the way oracles work, they prepare their spells by doing their, prayers and whatever. With cantrips, can I swap one of my cantrips for a different one, or is it?
I don't think you have. Do you prep or are you spontaneous? Do you have known spells?
Spontaneous.
I thought oracles were spontaneous.
Yeah, I don't think spell swapping
let me
is a
double
thing that
check.
you do. Nick, you've played an oracle for literally 2 years.
I have.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so you have a repertoire, and those are the spells you know.
Okay. So
And that's it. You can't change them unless you retrain, which takes weeks.
Yeah, never mind. Okay.
So you have what you have.
Okay, just double checking.
So what are you doing as you travel through this graveyard? You're looking in search of this dead warrens.
I'm going to keep a low profile as best as I can, because that's what Floblin does. Sneaky beaky. And as I'm being sneaky, I'm going to mutter small hymns, maybe even may or may not be spontaneously casting bless on the party as we approach the entrance.
Well, you're at a
Maybe
just kind of toppled statue outside a mausoleum here, so yeah, you could throw up a bless. It only lasts 1 minute.
Oh yeah, not bad. Then
It's
I forgot
real
about that.
Short term. Yeah.
In that case, I'll just be sneaking around and keeping my distance, but keeping an eye open more or less. Then
John, what are you doing?
John, as we are going through the graveyard, John is obviously not very happy to be in a graveyard. He is saying prayers to Pharasma and Eristil both, kind of just looking around, making sure nothing's going to jump up behind a headstone. He's actually very superstitious about this kind of stuff.
It's never comfortable, no matter what you believe. Nobody is comfortable exploring through a graveyard.
Especially when we get to the unmarked graves, he actually starts saying more prayers audibly louder for the people who haven't had anyone pass by, because it is very sad existence to have no one visit you in death.
Darren?
So Darren's going to be looking around. He's going to be looking for the entrance to where this guy's hideout might be. He'll have his gun sword out and loaded and just ready for trouble. But while he's going around, the queen went and took that girl. you'd think that they'd want the investigation to finish, right? I mean, like, that just doesn't seem right that you're just going to take her from one dungeon to another. I mean, it's not like the Queen's Guard is really going to have time to do a thorough investigation. It's a small staff. Wouldn't you think? You think it would make more sense for the Queen if she wanted to get the truth and wanted to get justice, that she would go and, like, it just doesn't feel right. Something bad happens to her because.
So this really is the place to be worrying about this?
Well, it's quiet.
It's quiet, but worrying about the matters of the living in the presence of the dead doesn't seem very respectful.
Does Dad have any problems with it? Oh, see? The only dead who are going to have problems with are the dead we're here to be a problem for.
Look, she's a scapegoat.
Well, we don't know that, but that's the point of the investigation. I don't know. It just, I'm sorry, I'll get my head in the game.
What are you doing, Arden?
Arden is also looking around, and more specifically, looking around for the runes, the sigils that he knows that his nephew may have left, because that's what led him here in the first place. It might give him a hint that his nephew might have gone in there alive.
And breath?
Sneaky beaky with a suppressor on the gun, sticking between the gravestones. Ready to put down a zombie.
Don't you mean creepy
Playing
beaky?
paintball over here, like hiding behind these gravestones. So were you seeking or scouting?
Scouting.
You're scouting?
I was going to clarify scouting.
Okay, that's why so Arden and Darren, roll me a perception check as you approach here.
It's 23.
23 is definitely enough.
It's
As
a
you're
22.
looking at this mausoleum that's kind of nearby that the statue has fallen from, looking around, I imagine as John and Reth, and maybe Floblin's probably hiding out of sight. John and Reth are moving towards the entrance to this.
I'm hiding out of sight. Trying to.
Yeah, but you got it out of sight towards the front of the thing. What are you going to... Out of sight doesn't help you.
I know.
You can out of sight by just not leaving the Citadel.
Well, you said he's out of sight.
yeah,
I'm
but I
inside.
mean, like, you're doing it stealthily. Floblin's like behind a dumpster somewhere.
That's fair.
Move around to the front of this. You two would note that in the soft earth here, there appears to be a single track, a single rut. Like a lone wheel dragged through the earth. Not to this mausoleum attached to this statue, but further off along the southern wall. This is accompanied by several what look like children's footprints. It's like 2 sets of them.
Well, he takes after his father. Hunt prey.
Fair enough.
I get a 23 also on the seat.
Okay, so that stuff I said.
Oh, okay. what I'm asking is, do I see any sigils?
You would not say anything here, no.
Okay.
Tracks. It looks like they came here with a cart. Small footprints, too. Maybe, like his father, he goes and uses children for labor.
It wouldn't surprise me, the monster.
Well, it actually makes me hopeful, because if he keeps children for labor, he's less likely to use them for something else. Let's see where these tracks go. And I'm just going to try to just keep an eye out further out to see if I can find more signs of ruts or footprints.
Fair enough. So you will switch to tracking, following these here as you go. And it's not something that you need to do a roll for, but it is something you have to focus on enough, because the single rut of this wheel is a deep enough impression that it's relatively easy to follow, even as this cuts through grass and weeds about some of these throughout these untended graves here at the end of Potter's Ward. This would spiral around some 24 feet to the south wall to a separate standing crypt, where you would see these clearly had passed over onto the stone threshold, where the tracks are gone entirely, but must certainly have gone through the large, thick, just kind of rough iron gate that's sort of loosely hung across the front entrance of this thing here. But it's a big open, like decorative gate. You can clearly see the inside of the crypt. It's only about 10 feet by 10 feet inside, and appears to not hold a single coffin, but it doesn't look like it's occupied. It's just a wooden coffin kind of upright against the wall and a couple of small crates. And then just Arden is seeking now. Give me a perception check here.
That's gonna be a 31.
The heck?
19, and
Oh,
I'm expert in
sorry.
perception.
But 31, they definitely critically succeeds. You
And a wisdom character.
Yeah.
looking into the room briefly. It's not even under the crates so much as next to it. There is a tile that is kind of just separate from the rest. The floor is mostly just 4 large stone slabs, each a quarter of this crypt. But there's one that's just kind of scored out that clearly detaches. It's not very difficult to see at all. But also, next to one of the hinges of this iron gate on the crypt, down almost at ground level, like knee height, you would see one of those little druidic sigils carved into the stone of the crypt itself.
That's the door. That's the door. The stone talks to me, and it is different here. And that's my cousin's sigil, my nephew's sigil, also my cousin. It's weird, our family.
Somehow your uncle too.
But good then. Well, then this gate. I'm just gonna check the gate out to see if does it
Doesn't
open
even
easily.
latch, much less lock. It's just purely a decorative thing. It's been put up in the front here, perhaps at least to keep like random scavenging animals out.
I'll take out some of my gun cleaning oil and oil the hinges a little bit, and then just open one of them.
Do you think he's still alive, Darren?
Almost assuredly. Of course he is. They need him to pull the cart.
Okay.
And with the inside of this here, Arden could easily point out this small tile on the floor, which as you get closer actually even has a set of hinges set into the scored groove of the stone behind it. It folds open as a simple trap door that leads to a very narrow staircase descending down into the darkness. Here, I think, is where we'll take our midstream break. Before we descend into the depths of the Dead Warrens after Wolf Lamb, we started this adventure raiding a fishery, brought together by our hatred for this man's father and the horrible things that he's done, and now we're going to end this first season of The Hook by going after his son, an equally, if not possibly somehow more evil being.
The apple rots not far from the tree.
Lamb the sequel.
We'll be
The
back
bigger
in a
jerk.
couple of minutes, everyone. Probably 10 to 15 minute break. Feel free to stand up, stretch your legs, grab some snacks, but don't go too far because when we return, we're going down and down.
Don't steal my bacon.
Who knows what we'll find?
But I ate
We
all
are
the bacon.
Zombies.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, baby. This adventure does have dungeons in it.
Dungeon!
Go on an adventure.
We want to die in a hole.
Those
Try
were
not to die in a hole, but you might die in a hole.
Might die in a hole.
Someone's gonna die in a hole.
those were some pretty hot
Entire
chips.
Dunga.
As we left off, the group of you had been sent out to the Dead Warrens to recover the body of a Shoanti man named Gaedren, who had been murdered by the mob and his corpse sold to a necromancer, none other than Rolf Lamm, the son of the Gaedren Lamm, responsible for bringing the 5 of you together in the first place. You had found a trapdoor in the cemetery that leads down to these Dead Warrens, down into the darkness below. And even with the light of the sun behind you, it's not going to go much further down these stairs. You're going to need some way to see.
You gonna take care of it?
You could both take care of it.
I mean, I'm literally casting light
Yeah.
by just making my hair brighter.
He always has, like,
That
caps
makes
on him.
sense. I like that.
So, as Floblin's hair starts to glow a little brighter, are you...
I'll put some. I'll put it on my backs, so that it lights us from behind as well.
So the two of you start to radiate a little bit of this light. It's not particularly potent. It's little better than a torch, and if only for being a bit more steady. not doing a lot really to make this descent down this dark staircase that much more comfortable. But the 5 of you, if there's no, that's all the cantrips you got. So unless anyone's pulling out torches or anything,
I need both of my
I
hands.
think all 3 of you used to anyway.
I all have to respond.
Well, optional.
The 5 of you begin to make your way down the staircase. Fortunately, not far past the initial trapdoor. The staircase that seems so crudely hewn into the stone gives way to something else entirely, a wider staircase that seems to be a fair bit more intentionally crafted and one with enough space for you to not cram your way down to this hole. But that said, it is still quite claustrophobic.
When we get to this wider staircase, Arden kind of stops, and you'll hear him intone granulate, granulate, periodote, and his eyes will change, and they'll get wider, and his pupils will kind of hone in, and I will turn on dark vision.
Okay. Now the casting of dark vision.
If I'm gonna seek, I might as well seek right.
Your vision now extending it down to a landing some 15 feet below that looks like it precedes only a small space before the stairs can lead down to another final floor 25 feet below you. The group of you would all come down to the base of this chamber where everything expands, opening up rather abruptly into a very large room, supported in its center by 4 wide stone pillars. The ceiling above arches upwards into a dome nearly 20 feet high at its apex, which must be only maybe a dozen or a little more feet below the surface of the ground up above. The walls are not stone, but would look to be hardened mud, caked with skeletons. Mostly adult human bones, but here and there smaller bones from halflings or gnomes or maybe children, lining every surface around this huge room. It is a grim sight, to be sure. Either side of you, this chamber, there's 2 15-foot square pits set about 5 feet further down from this central platform with massive heaps of bones just piled within each of them like so much refuse.
This seems so excessive.
And to the south of this grim sepulchre, a very crude hole has been gouged into the wall, continuing forth into the darkness in a much shoddier hewn cavern for passage.
I feel like whoever decorated this place needs to rethink their choices.
Yeah, seems like they overdid it a bit.
I mean,
John's keep going. He's not gonna stop. They're gonna stop and start talking. John's gonna keep going.
These pits to the left and right, I can't quite see at the edge of the torchlight. I'll get closer if I have to, but does it just like a pit of bones and then that's it? That's all there is? You can't go through them to get to another one?
Step over, not to the edge, but like to get a little closer to, I mean, you need to bring you don't have a light source. You're not a light source.
I don't actually, but I can go drag Floblin by his lapel.
You drag Floblin over to, let's say, the
I'm a
east
lantern.
one of these. The flickering firelight from his hair illuminating that they are just kind of a flat pit. And again, it just looks like a refuse heap of the skeletal remains that, as it sinks 5 feet down, are heaped so high, the top of it's almost level with the floor that you're on. Why don't you make me a perception check?
That's a lot of bones.
19.
With a 19, as you look down at this, it looks almost entirely like discarded single bones. These aren't even like whole skeletons. They're just bits. But throughout the kind of front end of this pile, you can see 4 little skulls, all kind of seemingly turned in this heap towards the staircase. It's kind of an unsettling way. As you look at each of them, they are actually still attached to spines, which are attached to ribs and shoulders and full bodies. And you would just see as they clattered to life to pull themselves from the pile, 4 fully fledged skeletons starting to emerge from this heap.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Oh boy.
And I need
They're
everyone
moving.
to roll me some initiative.
May I use
Sloblin and Wrath, you can roll stealth, of course, you've been sneaking.
Sweet.
I'm
Scouting, so.
You're scouting, so +1 for everyone.
That is going to be.
I believe +1. Is the scouting only if you roll perception for initiative? I think the
Nice.
scouting actually doesn't apply if you're sneaking.
18.
But I'm not sure.
I thought scouting's just a +1
Maybe it might
circumstance
just
to
be +1.
initiative.
All right, so
That is
+1
an
for
18,
everyone.
right?
Okay.
Like there's a 1 there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know even looking at that dice face to face, it's hard to see that 1.
I know.
Wrath.
I haven't rolled yet because I'm checking my stealth, so a 24.
All right. We'll hop over to Darren.
18.
18. John.
11.
John's just trying to go. He's not paying any attention.
Doesn't want to be here.
Arden.
31.
31. Floblin.
A dirty 20.
30, 20. So we are spread all over the board here.
Not so much that he's scared, it's just that
I kind of like being in the
he's
middle.
spooked.
Squad of skeletons.
Spooky. Spooky
Gonna
bone
be
boys.
coming in.
Skeletals.
Very skeleton.
Yeah.
With an 18. Just going to put them in here. And as I imagine Darren calls out this alarm as these 4 clatter to life opposite. Is that the right pit? Okay, fair enough.
It's one I'm
pit-
next to, yeah.
Opposite pit from that, John, as you're walking, you are unable to ignore a rattling roar coming out from the western side of the room. As a much, much larger, hulking set of bones starts to rise up from the pile. You see a skull with 2 hollowed eyes almost on the sides and a massive beak protruding out from it.
Oh boy.
And he's going to get a 22. We'll put him right in here. Arden.
Whoa.
A zombie
First.
owl bear.
Looks like a zombie owl bear.
That's pretty neat looking.
It's really cool.
Is that
It's horrifying, but it's cool.
not a practitioner?
Arden will see that thing appear, and he will immediately look at it and go, Archaea Cygnus Incantum? And throw out a Disrupt Undead.
Okay. That's a fort save, right?
It is.
He is going to get a 26.
26
He's a big lad.
will succeed, but not critically succeed. So he will take half, right?
If it's a basic fort save,
Yeah.
then yeah.
10. So he'll take 7 damage. I rolled really well.
It's 2d6. That's literally not possible.
No, 2d6 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Oh, on Disrupt Undead? Oh, fair
It's
enough.
not days.
I was thinking it was like
Yeah.
days bad.
No.
Okie dokie.
And then Darren will, Arden will step back.
Reth up at the base of the stairs here. As you see both these piles animating.
Oh, he's got a card.
Oh boy.
Please, start of your turn. Make a strike against each foe within reach. Multiple attack penalty applies as normal. At the end of this, your turn ends and you're fatigued.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Noise.
Okay,
Bang, 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 bang. McCree time.
so he's just going. He's just going nuts. All right, so you get multiple attack penalty. So where are you starting?
Starting with the skeletons, final attacks going on him.
Okay.
I'm aware 3 of these will be at a -10.
Yes.
So skeleton in the front, skeleton beside him, and then the rest. So first one is going to be 16 on the die. So 29.
Plus 13 to hit.
Yes.
Gunslinger.
I'm a fighter, but gun.
Yeah.
That's fair. That'll critically hit, and that first skeleton's just going to frickin' explode. There's literally no chance he survives a critical hit.
All right.
Bludgeoning concussive blast.
Nice.
That's an 18 on the die. So
He's dead too.
26.
Second one explodes.
4 on the die.
So -10, no way.
Yeah. 17 becomes a 7. Basically, I'm fishing for 20s.
Well, what's your total?
19.
It's a 17.
So it's a 7.
Becomes a
So-
7 plus
So 20?
12 is
7.
19.
Plus 13.
Oh, okay. So that's actually a 20.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe
Yeah,
tell me
that'll
because you
hit.
probably hit him. 20 hits.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking of the minus 10.
20 will hit.
Alrighty.
They
That's the
are.
last of the small skeletons.
I thought there was.
Where did my D8 go?
I don't know. Here, have the D8.
That'll work. I had a pile of all the specific dice I needed, and my D8's gone.
Need 2 of them, right?
I do need 2 of them because I have a striking rune.
now.
Here you go. Have a D8.
So another D8. A 5 and a 4 is a 9,
Explodes.
10, 11. Also, I would like to point out that the critical was my first attack, and it would have added a D6 of precision from sniper.
Okay, he super exploded.
Yes.
And then 1 to this large owl.
I still got one more guy over
You
here.
know,
You missed
him.
missed it.
missed him. You rolled a 4 on the
Go
die.
on 4.
Okay,
Yeah,
yep. I forgot about that.
Can't keep shooting at them
Now,
until they're dead.
big dude.
20.
There it is.
The nat 20.
That'll crit.
So, I'm gonna roll a bunch of dice.
Brett, never punished.
Never.
Never punished.
Yeah, the big guy's gonna be last. I'm not expecting to even hit him, but sure, I crit him. Alrighty. So, that is 4, and that is 7. So, I didn't specify which one is the fatal dice. Red is fatal.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, I trust you to do your math. You know it's
yeah.
fatal, so.
Okay, so red was a 4. That's just 4 damage.
And you have-
7 becomes 14.
You have an extra die, sir.
I do get these. This is the fatal dice. New rune.
Okay.
So
Yeah, new rune.
3 fatal damage. So 7, 11, 22, 26, 29 damage.
Jeez.
And that was on a bad roll.
You blast a huge chunk out of this creature as this last bullet just shatters through its shoulder blade, blowing an entire arm off of the owlbear skeleton. And you are fatigued
Yeah.
now.
So you guys just hear this weird, like, clicking noise as you hear the first poof, and then you hear bang, 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 bang. Looking back
Lever
over.
action archivist.
Is it broken?
Turns out it wasn't a new rune. It's just a gun upgrade.
You can do that?
Say hello.
You shouldn't. It almost broke. Don't try that.
And
The heck, I don't want to try that.
the owlbear responds with a blood-curdling screech, a high-pitched, rattling cry, as it claws its way up out of the pit here with this one remaining arm, clearly kind of struggling to fit itself up this narrow staircase, battering through the rails on either side of it on the edge of the platform, before rampaging up towards, I think, John is the closest there.
Who just wanted to leave.
Just wanted to leave.
Nice, Owlbear. Very
wanted-
good, Owlbear. Let's go back to sleep.
Just wanted to go somewhere else. I need everybody to make me a will save.
Will save, you say.
John just wants to go home. I got a 10.
Oh, I got a 3 on the die.
All right, let's start with you.
So, 12.
You're frightened too.
It didn't die after taking a critical hit, I'm afraid.
27.
You are fine. Floblin,
24.
you are frightened 1. John,
10.
Really?
you are frightened 2.
Frightened 1.
Oh,
Bravery.
Bravery.
yeah, frightened 1 from Bravery. And Darren,
25.
you are fine.
Okay.
She just wants to go home.
So frightened 1, as this thing rampages up to you and then just slams down with its one. Actually, it's got the one claw it's using to launch itself. It would launch itself, beak open, gibbets of flesh just kind of draped across the side of its face from the force as it throws itself towards you. Almost smashing more than just pecking with his beak. With a 19 to hit.
Does not hit.
Frightened
Not even with Frightened 1. AC 20. As it comes down with his beak, John literally shoves he has a van brace on, he shoves it in there and kind of holds it back, trying to make sure the weight doesn't come off it.
Bravery value. Frightened 2 would have hit you. Flavlin.
Oh dear, this is not good. So, the Bico says, burn it. Burn it very good. Bless. And then he's going to go attack shield because he does not want to play with that.
All right, this last skeleton in the pit is going to pull its arm back, dragging out this rusty, jagged piece of metal, just a scrap more than a weapon, as it hisses and shambles up towards the staircase. This thing overhead as it makes its way up towards Darren, before bringing it down towards you. For a 14 to hit.
Yeah, actually parry it with the gun barrel.
You throw him off balance enough, and it comes back around, just swiping wide with its free hand. For an 18.
I'll duck under it.
And he is a little rambling little skeleton. He's not. It's spooky, but he's just throwing at you, and it's your turn. Dude.
Yeah, I see that. I was a little bit close to get the shot off. So I'll, as much as I really want to shoot him, just dang it, he got up on me. Hunt prey, and then I'm just gonna kick him right in his pelvis with a boot. Just
unarmed strike.
Boot, unarmed strike. That's gonna be a. I'm next to Floblin, who cast Bless, so that's gonna be a 16.
You're kind of holding me.
16 is his AC, so by the power of Bless,
Like I'll be prized.
That's gonna be 10 damage
and
bashing.
you boot him back down into that heap. As seemingly with very minimal effort, he just flies apart, scattered like again so much refuse back into this pile.
Oh. Okay. Big thing then. Hunt prey him.
Haha, wait. Haha.
John,
Shaking it off, hand on his side. He's gonna step forward. Hi, no one said anything about giant bears that are skeletons. You said skeleton peoples. This is stupid. I'm gonna just bring the scythe down. Full strikes. Like, I'm not even worship Pharasma regularly. With a power attack, but it is going to have a 4 to hit. That's a total of a 16.
16 will hit.
Even with the
Giant owlbear skeleton. It's not particularly agile.
With a power attack is one extra power die.
Correct.
So I have 3.
Oh boy. Big smacks.
8, 16, 25.
What do you do, John? What happens?
We did it again. A crit and a kill.
Crit and a kill. As I am bringing down the scythe, John is actually reciting a short prayer he's heard from Pharasma. Once on the arm, he brings it back around and just pulls it through the head. I just want this thing gone.
The screeching
Hey, I did 7 damage.
stops immediately as the head severs from this owlbear, and this massive skeleton just collapses into a heap at the top of the stairs on the west side of the room.
Huh.
Well,
That wasn't so bad.
well good job, Joel.
That sure went better than I thought it was going to.
You mind if I burn the corpse just in case?
I normally I'd object to it, but I really can't think of a reason not to.
I pulled something in my elbow doing that maneuver.
That was
Remind me not to do that
amazing.
again.
You shot why not? You shot the whole freaking room. Can I do that? Can you show me how you did that?
Almost broke
I'm
my
just
gun
burning
doing
anything
it.
remotely
Possibly my
humanoid.
arm.
Next room.
You do look a little sore.
You won't stick with this tool. I'm going to leave you behind.
Oh, you're gonna wander off by yourself down here, are you?
You want some more skeletons to come out of the pit because there's a lot of bones.
Yeah, but they're
John's
all
saying
pieces.
It's already making his way towards this small, almost hole in the southern wall.
I'll bury you.
It is only about a little over 6 feet high. So it's not like you have to squeeze, but it is uncomfortably small. This almost mine shaft that clearly has just been hewn through the rock here by pick and claw. But as John's going, what are the rest of you doing? John's going.
Following along.
Everyone's coming along.
Is
after
it
him.
so? It's narrow passages all the way
Quite
through.
narrow. This would require you to proceed single file. John's going in the front there. It sounds like.
John, yeah, I mean, if no one's gonna stop me, but John is gonna take a moment to switch out to a weapon that doesn't.
No one's
require
gonna
swinging.
stop you.
Yeah.
This is a single file passageway for sure.
So he's gonna just pull out his spear and just walk with the spear forward.
I'm gonna actually be right behind him, I think.
Actually, no.
Flop
Sword and
was-
shield.
Stealthy.
Sword and shield.
Yeah, sword and long
Floblin
shield.
sneaking around up, so scurries up behind John.
Darren will take middle point.
Darren.
I'll
then
be
Arden,
behind
and
Darren.
Griff.
Is it an exploration action to have your shield raised?
Yes.
Yes, that is what John's going to do. He's going to switch from scouting to having his shield raised when he's in
Shield up
front.
and ready, protecting yourself. This kicks away to the side This tunnel not even really having been hewn straight back into the wall, jagging off at an angle near immediately before it forks 2 ways, right or left.
Left.
Both look basically similar. You can't see much of anything, but continuing on, it jerks right, and you click back left to keep pressing hopefully deeper into this. As it turns and reveals before you another cave-like chamber. This one clearly much less impressive than the sepulchre you'd left. 3 small wooden tables dominating the vast majority of the space in this room. The ceiling in here not any higher than it is in the passageways, but at least the rough-hewn walls open up to allow some space, though the gaps around these 3 tables and a small cupboard leaned up on the left side don't leave a whole lot of room for maneuverability. All the surfaces in this room are stained red with old blood, and there's several other passages that head around from here. On your right, there would be a 10-foot wide large hutch with woven wicker doors atop it that you can just kind of get a glimpse through with your lights and look like it leads into some kind of a straw-lined cave. Another small passage on the left in the back side of the room, but where there's a couple of figures in here. First of all, there is a body. A humanoid body on the farthest table into the chamber, which looks like it's just kind of been dumped there completely unceremoniously. It is covered in insects. Large, almost forearm-sized winged insects with long, mosquito-like snouts and clear latticed wings folded over their body. 2 of them, their abdomens have already started to expand and swell with the bright red blood from this corpse. And a small figure is literally holding a 4th one in her little hands, holding it up to affix it to this body. And she turns as the lights come into the room, and you see a very squat little figure. Almost sort of looks like a gnome with pallid blue skin and stark white frizzy hair. With this one that just kind of runs back almost like a wide mohawk across the top of her head. Her features are very sunken and angled. And as she looks over towards you, clad in some very strange, what you hope are leathers and of the traditional sort, she sees you and immediately reaches for a very strange little weapon that looks to be almost like a hooked sickle attached to an incredibly large rope, the weird weight at the far end of it.
Just gnome things.
Just gnome things. But you see her, and she sees you. She reaches for this with one hand and smacks the corpse with the other, dislodging 2 of these insects as they start to buzz up around the chamber angrily. And drawn towards either your warmth or your light, shoot towards the entrance you are coming in from.
B.
Roll initiative again, immediately.
So, I don't
Dungeon.
think it's ever come up before, but I can no longer take exploration activities because I'm fatigued.
You are in fact
So
fatigued.
I'm just rolling perception, which means no 1-shot, 1 kill.
Some horrible bugs.
I'm just not feeling it.
Eh.
I'm just not feeling these skeletons, bugs, weird gnome.
That dies.
And here is
Sturges.
strange blue little
Sturge of
Well, she
doom.
looks like someone who'll come quietly.
woman. She very much does not.
Shh, I'm praying.
Arden, what do you got?
She using a Kusari
22.
Dama?
22?
Kinda.
Rep?
17.
Woblin?
I also got a 17.
Who wants to go first?
You
You're in the
mind
front.
you mind if I go first?
I don't
John.
think it is. 11.
And Darren.
23. No one's scouting, right?
No one's scouting.
Yeah, 23.
You had 22, Arden?
Yeah.
All right, our little bugs are going to come up with a
These things are just
22. They are quite fast.
giant mosquitoes.
They're
Yeah.
basically giant mosquitoes.
Oh.
Ye olden sturge.
Yeah.
And this
Sturge of doom.
we know it's
small
Sturges.
blue woman
I forgot my mosquito killer at home. Dang it.
Oh, I got my mosquito.
What did you
killer.
have, Floblin? What'd you get?
I got a 17.
She also got a 17. Okay, I wasn't sure if you got 17 or 18.
Okay.
9 just in the way.
So, Darren, you are the only one here with any real level of like formal training, and you see and hear things happening, and your party in front of you is just kind of dumbstruck for a moment. But you react quickly, but I'm kind of a little far back the line here.
Yeah. Those mosquitoes. John can handle the mosquitoes. Hunt prey. Hunt prey. I almost hesitate to call her a gnome. She looks really like that picture on the card.
Gnome-esque.
Yeah.
It definitely does not
Gnome-esque.
look like a gnome.
Yeah, I think.
Like a gnome-like small humanoid.
Clearly.
It's like, you
Gnome
know,
tangential.
what would the gnome version of Drow be? She kind of looks like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Under gnomes.
Under gnomes.
Yeah, under gnomes.
Snurf Bloodblown or something.
Well, whatever it is, hunt prey on that,
Fliblin.
Yeah.
and quick take a shot and just
Can you s-
over Floblin's head. Looks like I can.
I'm gonna definitely give her like.
She'll probably have cover.
You can take a shot, but she's definitely gonna cover.
Okay. And is Floblin's Bless still up? It was a minute he cast at the very end of combat,
There's
and
actually
we just
2 rounds
walked.
left. 2 rounds left.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take a shot.
Ow.
Ooh, that's a 2 on the die. I don't think I hit her.
Yeah, so loose that through this narrow passageway here
Mm-hmm.
is almost a hopeless shot to take as it glances off a wall nearby her.
And he'll quickly slide up and reload, slam it back down again.
You
God,
don't
that's
have
cool.
the ignore cover thing, do you?
The
The
2,
ignore cover thing is called Bless.
That's fair.
the sound of this gunshot absolutely just
Silent.
silent. You put another silencer on?
Well, no, I never
haven't
shot in the first
you
place.
haven't You, boom, and this thing shatters. You hear behind you, Floblin. These 2 small insects immediately fly up into the doorway here. And I don't think I bothered making tokens for these. I don't remember if I did or not. I did? Okay. They fly up in the doorway towards John. But they would fly past John, actually onto Floblin.
Hello, light
because
source.
You are small and warm and bright. And
Oh,
they
boy.
are absolutely going to go for that. So
Mom always said that was
He
the
hasn't
key to
gone yet.
friendship.
No, I haven't gone
Oh, he hasn't gone
I
yet.
see you got the excitement, but he hasn't.
yet. No, I wasn't gonna use it anyways.
You weren't going to
He's
use
not
it
going to protect
anyway.
Floblin. If they're coming for me, I'd use them.
I have a shield raised. I'm ready for shield block, sir.
And
Nice.
these insects like whiz right
fine.
around you, probably again like 6-8 inches long, and fly down around Floblin. You would find yourself immediately getting swarmed by a pair of bloodseekers.
Listen, this is
Rude.
not as bad as you think it's going to be. It's just a light little prick and then some blood gets drawn out.
23 for the first one.
That is a regular hit.
Okay. I don't think crits matter on these guys. Second one, literal natural one.
Okay.
So it's just going.
So
to
I dodge. I dodged the first one and then get sidewinded by the other one.
18 on the second swing for the second one. Still no?
18 is a miss.
Okay. So one of them is just buzzing around you, and the other one, you would all see it kind of land on Floblin's, like on the front of his shoulder, and sink its little mouth into the top of his shoulder. The other one is trying to like get a purchase, but the first thing is in the way of the second thing.
And his
Floblin's
hair's
not
on fire.
Yeah, his hair's on fire. It's not a huge buzz.
Such is life.
It's just sort of buzzing around him. And as this thing gives you a little bit of suck here, you don't really feel any pain. It is like getting bit by a mosquito. You don't feel anything initially. They're designed very much not to do that. But you do feel a bit drained. You take 4 damage as you just sort of start to feel lightheaded. Oh, you want a token for the little lady?
I'll trade you
token?
5 skeletons.
I don't have little bug tokens, but
That's
there's a
fine.
little lady token. As you start to feel a little bit lightheaded, and you are also going to lose 4 more health because you are drained 1.
So,
So your-
total of
Your
8.
max goes down 4, your current goes down 8.
Oh. Oh.
Yep.
Well, that's.
Drained
And
is
you're
the
drained
gift that keeps
1.
on
The
giving.
cards are out there somewhere.
Oh, I got. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Arden.
Arden
Keep up the
will eye one of the mosquitoes and go, I know what to do with you. Inflame! And he will fire a little poof of flame that will expand and jolt into this thing.
You target the one that is currently stuck.
Yep.
To Floblin? Okay.
while he does this, you'll actually see his body light up with flame, and you'll feel the air around him get to be a little bit different, and his attunement from the earth will shift to fire.
Okay.
And I need the mosquito to make a fortitude save.
I think you had to hit it first.
I don't have to hit it.
I think this is your attunement thing
This
going
is my
off.
attunement thing going on.
Okay.
You don't have to hit it?
It's spicy air.
It's
Oh,
spicy air.
Both of them or one of them?
Is it a AoE?
I think it's just the one I'm targeting.
Okay, which is the one on Floblin, right?
Yeah.
They're probably great at fortitude. 16.
That is going to fail. He is going to be fatigued until he drinks water or blood or,
Good thing
whatever.
that's the only thing he does. So he's got that going for him.
He is fatigued until he sucks, though.
It's going to be a 24.
24 is absolutely going to hit. That is
Fatigue doesn't lower your
actually
AC
going
if it
to
matters.
critically hit
Whee!
because it is attached to Floblin. It's not really moving.
They just landed. They didn't roll or anything. They're just,
Plop.
these are your numbers. Here you go.
That's going to be 16 points of fire damage.
Yeah, it's a tiny mosquito. 16 points of fire damage is actually just going to blast this thing, and you're going to see it.
What the?
Like this hit literally launched this thing charred and smoldering off of Floblin.
Since when can you do fire?
And those of you behind Floblin see as its head kind of rips out of his body, where it embedded, it starts to bleed, blood running almost like water out of the small hole. You are not taking bleeding damage.
What are you talking
Oh.
about? I am fire, he says, still looking a little bit glowy.
Unless that attunement was an action. I have literally no idea what you just did.
Attunement's free.
Attunement's free.
Okay, you have one action left then.
Secrets of magic.
I will actually just stay where I am and hold.
Okay. Scooping up this weird little weapon off the floor, this woman charges up towards the group of you at the front of the room. Is what it looks like as she runs down the eastern side past all the tables. But then just before maybe 10 feet out, she turns and shoulders to the side, dipping through a doorway just around the inside corner from you,
Oh, okay.
out of sight. Does anybody speak Undercommon? You speak Undercommon. You would hear,
Grew up in a mine.
I did.
you grew up in a year, Stone yeah, fitting. You would hear her call out in Undercommon, "Intruders! Intruders, help!"
Oh boy. They know we're here, guys.
Oh,
And she would
wonder
disappear around this corner.
like the
Floblin.
gunshots earlier didn't alert everyone in the cavern.
I mean, to be fair, with that many going off at the same time, you might not know it's a gunshot.
That could be anything. That could be a cart on the street.
Could have been the entrance caving in.
Could have
Yeah.
been.
Nothing to be concerned about.
Well, let's see. Unfortunately, I don't think that'll do anything for my condition at the moment. So, when in doubt, I'm going to extend my bless by spending an action by 5 more feet so my buddies can get a little bit more of
Big a bless for the last round.
for better things and do stuff. And there's still one bug like near me, right?
There's one buzzing around you, yeah.
I guess I'm going to do what I do best and give me 1 second. I gotta find where did my cantrip go? Anyway, there we go. Dakan, Perlu's flame.
On top of you, so make an attack roll.
And because I'm level 4 now, my racial feat makes it a +2.
That's funny.
It just bursts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
dead. It's super dead.
His hair.
Super just.
Goblin's throwing fire, and he's got to assert flaming dominance. And just absolutely disintegrating this second blood signet, moving it from the list of things that exist.
For anyone who wants to know, that was a 30 altogether.
Yeah, yeah, that thing is cinders now. That one's just gone. That one evaporated, gone from this mortal plane.
And then I think I take, 4 more damage, right?
You take 1 more damage, and then you roll to see if it ends. No, so if you were bleeding, drained, that's
Yeah.
the Pathfinder 1. We don't do that here. Not anymore. No more con
How
bleeds.
about some con bleed?
No more con bleeds. Nell remembers.
Yeah, no, that was a.
It's still
I'm pretty sure
Pepperidge
that's a
Farm.
fail because that was like 10.
Still, it's literally just a flat check for. So Ref, from the back of the line here. You would barely just see a tiny little glimpse.
I just
of
see
this
the hair go
gnome-like
by.
thing sprint by and out of view.
Wait, is it? The bugs are dead. Where'd it go? Just holding while I'm scanning with my rifle.
All right, John.
She ran off to get help. I'm not chasing after her. I'm gonna look behind Goblin, rip off a piece of cloth, and just kind of try to staunch the bleeding.
I like to
That's-
imagine that's how you do
Literally
it.
just
Yeah.
slap it
Just
on.
maybe a flat check.
Yeah, sir. That's 2 actions to do
Yeah,
that,
2
right?
actions.
20.
You stop bleeding. You.
He crams it into the hole.
I appreciate it, but did you have to be rough?
I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna walk around slowly, piecing it out until I see the passageway.
And as you come around the corner, you can see that in the far, in the corner of
I
this
can't
room, about like
see
10 feet
anything.
around. Yeah, it's a very small little
I know.
passageway. You don't have a light source with you,
Yeah.
so like you can see these walls kind of tuck in the darkness. You can like reach a little bit with your spear and feel there's nothing there. There is an even narrower passageway
Could
here.
I just drag Floblin with me? Can I force movement
You
Floblin?
cannot. No.
Dang.
But it's completely dark. This little gnome thing just dipped into this. It doesn't have a light source. It doesn't have anything. It's just gone into this hole that goes back. You have no idea how far.
Alright, then we need some light sources up here quick.
I'm getting there.
Aaron?
Do I?
Bonks her head on the wall.
Do I see that there's still those 2 other Bloodseekers at the end of the room, but they're just kind of like plugged on that
They're
body,
on
right?
that corpse having a great time. There are definitely 2 of them very affixed. Like, they didn't shake off when she hit the body. They're
Yeah.
just sucking.
I am not gonna bother them. I'm just gonna hold and I say, well, it looks like we might be clean for now. Here, let's move up into the room carefully.
So you're holding. So
Yeah.
Arden.
Let me get up there so you can actually see something. I'll go up to where John is.
It's like a whole move to
Yep.
squeeze through your team here. But as you get up and illuminate the room properly with your light magic,
And I also have dark vision, so I can maybe see where she's going a little bit.
I mean, you also have light, so you
That's
can
true.
both see where she's going a little bit. This even smaller passageway is incredibly narrow. It's only about 4.5 feet tall, and even less than that around. A very thin passageway that's kind of bored into the rock here that you can see. Much akin to the trapdoor that had led here in the surface, there was a rock face over this that's on hinges that she shoved in to get through, and it goes only about like 15 feet back as far as you can see before it looks like it also trails off in multiple directions. You can't immediately see where she got to. You have 2 actions left.
The first one will be to look over to those 2 passageways and cast out Vitum. No direction
Okay.
to know which way is north.
As you're looking up here, as you stand, the direction that you are facing into this passage, you get is north, back up towards town. But the distance, of course, all these caverns is so short that surely none of this leaves the wardens underneath the Great District.
Then I will switch my activity and start tracking.
Okay. You don't have an activity, it's just like an action, because we're in combat.
I will start tracking.
So make me a survival check.
And because I am a stone druid, I get +1 survival because I'm in
You
an
are
underground
very literally
area.
in a stone cave. This is your absolute element here.
We did it, folks.
Best day ever. Another 9. It's gonna be 9, 19. 20.
She just really can't see in the dark as good as she thought.
The
She keeps
20?
bumping the walls.
With a 20,
20 is good.
as you look, this place is not immaculately clean. It may surprise you to learn. There is some degree of dirt and grime throughout the area. You can see a little bit of a spot that's worn a bit more. It's a little cleaner, just probably the passage of feet that whips around to the left. It looks like the right fork of this passage is almost entirely unused, at least not recently. She must have gone to the left.
We're going left, John.
You don't want to step in.
You want to go in that little hallway?
I'm not
Yeah,
going
now
into
that
You're
there's-
insane.
Now that there's light in the room, I'll step in.
All right.
And I'll just move into the room and take up a position behind or between the, I guess these are grave.
The
Tables?
There wasn't tables.
Okay.
They're the two that do not have a mosquito-covered body on top of
Yeah.
them, which is the further
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, just getting in there, kind of crouching down, sentry duty.
Yeah,
joining
Darren-
the front line.
Darren will move into the room too, and I'm going to use an action to just kind of from a safe distance check out that corpse to see if it matches the description of who we're trying to find.
Looking at the
I guess take cover while I'm here.
body on the table, this just looks like any random vagrant from the streets of Korvosan. So it's
Okay.
certainly not a Shoanti and definitely not the person you're looking for.
Last action, then I'm going to listen to see if I can hear any commotion coming at us.
Okay, and roll me a perception check.
It's a 19.
You don't understand it. You don't speak Undercommon, I assume. Mm-hmm. But you hear, it sounds to be quite teeny and distant, like just echoing up this passage. That same voice that had called out in whatever language before. It sounds like she has gotten quite far away,
Okay.
but again, you have no idea what it is that she's saying.
It sounds like she's gone pretty far off. I don't know if we want to try to hold up here, but it probably would be best if we kept moving before they're able to kind of pincer us. If I don't know where these tunnels go, they could end up all over us.
That way is north, and that way is the footprints. So it's up to you guys.
Well,
Yeah, might as well chase them.
Through that tunnel, I think you're insane.
Absolutely.
That tunnel is tiny. Only Flobbin can walk through it easily.
Yeah.
I didn't say I'd
Man,
be
I'm-
chasing.
Oh, so that's fair.
I'm
Flobbin
not
could
gonna
just-
lie, guys. I'm not feeling the greatest, but I can do what I can.
Yeah, you're looking a little like a lighter shade of orange. You all right?
Not really.
Man, that thing stabbed you. That's like just been like getting stabbed with a knife.
I mean, not really. It's more like, when you get stabbed with a big needle and it's not fun and it's a very dirty needle and you feel a little sick afterwards.
I've never had that experience, but fair enough. I guess, well, I could take a look at it, but it would take me some time. You able to be on your feet right now, or do you need...
I can walk. Yes.
All right. I think we should not stay here, because if she can go rally support, then they can come at us, and we should probably pick a place to check out. Maybe that back one down there on the... You said that's the south wall, right? Southwest, maybe?
You got the southwest with the wicker-covered passageway, and then you have the east, which as you come into the room, you can see leads to a small little set of stairs, and appears to open into a more worked corridor, only like 10 feet out from this. It looks like whatever these things are, they have either moved into or made these shoddy little caverns that are adjoining more traditional burial chambers. You can even see through this passageway that the hall on the far side is lined with row after row of yawning skulls set into the wall. You can't see much through the wicker wall on the west.
It was unsettling the first time I saw it, but now it's just getting a little old.
So the passage that she ran through opens inward.
Yes. It has a door that you can close.
I will close that door, and then I'll take the nearest table and stand it up on one of the short ends and push it up against in front of that door. So if they open the door, it's going to knock it over, and we'll hear it.
It opens
door opens
away
up.
from
For
us.
them to get out.
They'd have to knock it over,
They have
yeah.
to move the table.
Yeah, because it's large enough, it would largely occlude the door. All right, fair enough. You can do that fairly easily while you are, I assume, giving a medicine check to Floblin? Or
Yeah, it sounds like we're taking some time. I'll do that.
are you staying here, like, or are you trying to get into another room?
Oh, just give me a minute. I can deal with him real quick.
Well, I could do it on real quick too, but I mean, it
If
might.
you got it real quick, let's do it real quick. Get out of this room.
I'm confused about the speed that we're moving at.
I too.
It's subjective.
Just then, in that case, we're doing it real quick. I'll go ahead and quickly dip in and scoop out some of that jellied analgesic that I've got prepared and smear it on your wound.
That's Battle medicine.
Battle
Your
medicine.
medicine check, sir.
Assurance 15.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You heal for 2d8, and
8.
I mean, I'll take it. Thank you.
Average. As you do that,
Oh, wait, my HP
treating,
is permanently
treating
lowered,
this,
isn't it?
treating this even just very quickly with what you have. His problem is just that a bug sucked his blood and he was bleeding pretty bad. It's like a momentary wooziness of getting your blood drawn.
I can't give him more blood.
Yeah, with a small, it's not a lot. It was like an 8-inch little creature, and it just got a little suck. So like with even like the smallest amount of medical attention, it is going to kind of stabilize him. He's going to be okay. You are no longer drained, actually. You literally need to be healed at all, and the drain goes away.
Oh,
the blood-seeker drain.
convenient.
Well, in that case, thank
So
you.
that would take you back to full health.
So it would take you back to 1 off, I believe, because he took 8.
Yep.
and
Yeah.
1,
Yep.
so he'd be
It would,
1
I
off
would.
full.
I would be 1 off.
Nice.
Oh well. Thank you, Darren. I don't know what's in that jelly, but it worked out
Blood-seeker
pretty good.
drain goes away if you receive any healing. So it's like easy.
That's handy.
Nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Flobbin.
All right, so then as we progress, we need to be wary from our backside too. If they went that way, they might come up behind us as well. And
That'd
if
be
we're not
wise.
sitting here to fight them.
That makes
Looking
sense.
around this chamber, there doesn't seem to be much of interest in here. You can see what looks like a that cabinet on the northeastern side, kind of near this door, opens into a rotted, warped bit. Like the back of this is just destroyed and gnarled into almost pustule-like growths of a mixture of the wood of the cabinet and like a whitish kind of papery construction, almost certainly a nest for these horrible little creatures. And there's nothing else in the room that appears to be useful or interesting at all. Still no sign of Gaedren.
We're going to ignore the nest.
Yeah,
We're
leave
gonna
that alone.
Leave them to their meal.
And you leave the 2 guys in the body here just doing some sock.
That's fine.
They're not our problem.
Not our problem. They're not bothering us.
The
I'm
guy's already dead. He's not going to get dead early.
Yeah, right.
putting my flame out and just gonna.
Hey,
To the southwest.
Do actually one of you two was light magic. Can you actually cast a light magic on me so I can see?
Oh, yeah. That's probably a good idea, actually.
Is someone?
Here, I can see anyway.
All right, cool.
How long is their vision last?
An hour.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
So with the light gone from Floblin, John now the only source of light for the party with this magic.
Floblin, too.
Floblin put his out.
Oh.
Yeah, but his is easy.
He did not like getting mobbed for being the warm candle by the things that like warm candles.
I don't
Well,
like big bugs.
I don't think it's a good idea to only have one light source.
I mean,
Floblin,
I
if
can
you
turn it
wouldn't
back
mind,
on once we're away from the mosquito.
just put it on me.
Oh, that I can do. So he just kind of licks his hand, and you see like a little warm glow, like appear on his hand. And
I'll
you
catch
see,
his hand on mine. There we go. That's
and you see
that's
a
fine.
little orange slobbery handprint that's glowing, and that's your light source now.
That's why I like Auden. Auden is my favorite spellcaster in the group.
All right.
I feel that's pretty easy to be done.
All right, then we're going down this passage right here.
into this strange hallway, and it is.
Oh, the opposite one. Okay.
As you turn into it, it is the hallway, right?
I thought we were going to the southwest, but John's just going to do his John
John's
thing
going.
and walk off
John's
somewhere.
going.
John's is gonna walk
We can
off.
choose to
Steps
ignore
out into
them.
this, and it is again opens into like a 10-foot wide, probably 8-foot high hallway that you can again stand straight in. That it looks behind you like the wall has just been taken down with pick and claw, just like it had from the initial sepulchre. It is surprisingly long, running a far distance, almost doubling back towards that entryway, 20, 30, 40 feet, with these just rows and rows and rows of skulls inset into the walls on all sides. The far end to your right terminates pretty quickly. What looks like it was either unfinished, as it is just rough-hewn stone at the backside. On the left, to your left, where it goes down at 30, 40 feet, you can see further down it does, again, fork off with 2 intersecting passages. It is 10 feet wide as well, so I don't remember if I mentioned that, so you have a decent amount of space in here, finally.
I'll hang back anyway and let Reth get in front of me, so that way if we do get something from behind, our sniper doesn't get jumped by somebody.
And at this point, since we're in a wider hallway, I'm going to pull out the scythe again because I do not like sword and shield.
And as you make your way down this passage, I imagine just moving kind of cautiously through this.
And
Are you going to scouting?
yeah, I'm going back to scouting.
John up in front, moving forward.
Are you seeking?
Always.
Yeah, Arden and Darren, give me perception checks.
21.
21.
The two of you would notice, right as John rounds the corner, starts to move into the room, a set of skulls near the right of the door move. They would shift a little bit more open.
I'm going to shoot it.
The tiniest bit of a glow coming out from them, and Darren immediately pulls out his gun and shoots it.
Oh.
Arden, you would have seen the same thing as he's going to shoot at it.
Seems like an overreaction, but okay.
You would have seen the same thing, but you would also see there was another similar skull lit up much further down the hall to your left. There's just very slightly opened, the tiniest little glow.
There's another one further down.
John, be careful.
Careful is my middle name. I'm always careful.
I thought that was
Famous.
homicide.
Entire hallway engulfed in flames.
Famous last words.
So
Hey, y'all, watch this.
Hold my ale.
as you all, you didn't have time to put the silencer back on. So as you all hear
Oh, yeah.
this rattling gunshot, as I
boy.
imagine most of you are there, like Arden's in the doorway, Rhett's probably the only one who hasn't made his way into the hallway yet. Just blasts the wall.
That skull was looking at me funny.
Make me an attack roll, I guess.
That's appropriate. Will a 12 hit the wall?
12 will definitely hit the wall.
Woo!
You like panic and shoot immediately, and you like as the smoke clears here, see your bullet just shattered through a skull, like 2 down from the one that you were aiming at here. And John's still just looking, making his way, and you would see the one in front of you snap open and light up green. And at that, I need everybody to again roll me some initiative.
Because green means go.
Green do mean go.
Now John's ready.
Yeah, now you're ready.
Now I'm ready.
That was that gunshot,
The
man.
gunshot. Yeah.
It's-
I am not ready.
I am also not ready.
So this goes. Floblin,
I am scouting.
he's scouting again.
Oh, you're scouting? Well, it's
One
not
higher.
gonna. It's not gonna help too much because that's a total of 13.
13. John.
Will a 27 work?
27's great. 27's fantastic.
And the 7.
Darren.
I was still trying to peer at where I shot and seeing it didn't work out well. I'm down to a 16.
Reth.
20.
20. And Arden.
I'm
just
also
kinda
at a
in the middle.
16. You can go first.
Okay.
So we're like in here. So this lit up green skull in the wall. It's a 27 also.
Jeez.
This is good. This is fine.
That's fine. That's fine.
This is fine.
And as it lights up, you hear kind of almost like a wet hiss, and you see in its mouth some sort of a thick liquid start to kind of bubble out around the lower jaw, but it doesn't really run. It just kind of masses and then shoots out of the skull's mouth from the end of the hall towards you.
I found the trap, guys.
You did find the trap.
This is what I'm here for.
It's a good thing you put the shield away.
But it's only going to get a 13 to shoot at you.
Literally, not even a foot into the hallway. It shoots. It is kind of back up into the hallway.
But then Darren sees the one that he had shot at light up as well and start to mass up this muck. And that was the reaction at the start of initiative. Now it gets its turn. Where it is going to
Hazards.
blast at John for a natural 20. It is going to blast at Darren for a 28. It is going to blast at Floblin for an 11.
I just
It's fine.
So wait, so not just me in the back? Okay.
Natural 20,
Yeah.
28 to hit, 11 to hit.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like shooting individual bolts.
Okay.
It's not like a wave that's filling the hall.
Okay, so it does only hit the 3 of us,
Yeah,
even
it's-
though I'm
it's
further away.
three.
Okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
It's got 3 shots. 28, I assume hits and does not crit.
Correct.
So we'll start with Darren, because you didn't get crit. Darren, you were going to take 6 points of acid damage, and you feel it kind of hit and burn a little. But after, normally you get smacked, and the feeling kind of starts to subside. It does not. It does not subside. If anything, it feels like it's burning worse, as it is soaked into your armor and your chest, and you are taking some persistent acid damage. John, you take 14 and are also taking persistent acid damage. And as these begin to fire, just sort of repeatedly loosing these bolts down the hall, you see 2 more skulls twist and extend out from the wall. Their spines draping from the backside, just continuing to extend, almost serpentine. And the skulls open up with massive mandibles, the bottom jaw detaching on 2 halves, almost like a snake, as these 2 things slither down into the room.
Huh.
And they get a 19 for initiative.
That is 1 below me.
Yep, so they are here, which means it is turn of John.
All right, someone breaks the traps. I don't like those.
Quick
Got a-
question.
I'm gonna
Is
break
my
these
blood
bones.
You got a thing?
Tokens?
Oh, I have. I don't have actual tokens for these, so I have generally weird snake-like things. That's Bestiary 3. I don't have the Bestiary 3 puns.
Shame.
One of them comes out near the back, just behind Darren. One of them coming out almost immediately in front of John.
I wonder if they're sentient. I'm gonna try to actually, before I even swing at the one in front of him, I'm gonna try to feint it.
Okay.
As I'm bringing in the scythe in one direction, it's gonna try to quickly adjust my grip to actually, instead of swiping, it's gonna pull down and shove up. So we're gonna try to feint. I rolled natural 1 to feint. The 10
Yeah, it
total.
does not seem to react to your preparation at all.
Nope. Cool. Mindless. Sweet. I'm gonna swing. Just a regular swing.
I like to imagine that Nat 1 feints would have been a Nat 20 attack because it didn't react to you doing a thing.
So you would have just bashed it?
Yeah.
Always go for the swing.
Always go.
Always go for the swing. So swinging for a 10 on the die, so a 23.
23 will hit.
23 will hit. I like hits for a total of 15 slashing damage. God, I don't like. Where are these traps located at in the room?
There's one near Darren to the right of the door you came in, like 10 feet down, and one like 10 feet down from the far end of the chamber.
Okay.
So they're almost the extreme ends of the hall.
Extreme ends of the
as
hall.
they're firing. And there, I guess, would be a third one at the very far end on the left side past this like intersection near at the end.
Okay. So that's 2 actions. I'm just gonna. No, I'm not gonna leave it. I'm just gonna swing again. I'm overthinking this.
Wappity.
Yeah, just wappity.
Fighter thing.
I'm a fighter.
John's
It doesn't seem to be
overthinking.
resistant at all to your slashing damage, though. It seems like a
Actually-
purely skeletal creature. It's so long and serpentine that you can slash pretty effectively.
I'm gonna try to brutish shove it.
Okay.
That's a 1 action. It's a flourish, so I have to have a multiple attack penalty
Okay.
to it. So, I don't hit. It is flat-footed to me for the rest of my turn, but that's what I get on a failure. Yeah.
They try to push it back, but this thing is weird and serpentine and surprisingly heavy for being just bone. It doesn't really go anywhere.
I
So
don't
you
know
just
how to-
almost kind of get tangled
really-
up in these like centipede like rib legs.
I don't know how to fight this.
You don't. Ref.
Yeah.
Well, your scythe ain't looking too effective. Let's see what a bullet does to him. I'm gonna shoot the one straight across from me that I have good line of sight to.
Okay. It's definitely got light cover.
It's got less cover than the one down the hall from me.
That's fair.
For a 17.
17 will not hit. You will see the bullet shoot right through the general mass, but it's so thin and spindly that that just doesn't hit anything. It's basically just spines and ribs animated.
Well, covered reload. And that'll be it. I'll just take 2 actions. I'll hunker down.
Shoot a trap.
This creature that's come out in front of John as it's struck is going to immediately attempt to bite back this kind of separated lower jaw, though still looking humanoid. Each half of it as it comes apart, kind of ending in a sharpened blade-like point as it snaps up towards you.
He's got that predator mouth.
It's got the predator mouth pretty good, yeah. I've held on to this. for literally the entire game.
This
You
is
don't
his
wanna
moment.
You don't want to use
I'm
it?
gonna put my 2 cards down.
Why not?
Held it for the entirety of Curse the Crimson Throne. I'm gonna reroll this hit.
I held on to Rampage forever,
Nice.
and I got extreme value out of it.
Maybe someday it would have come around, but it took too long. 24 to hit you.
24 does hit. John's just trying to figure out how to fight this thing. He leaves himself wide open.
How to fight and like how to even defend yourself against it, as it just sort of slashes up towards you in a twisting motion. But it's gonna catch with these jaws punching into your armor pretty effectively for 11 points of piercing damage. And I need you to make me a fortitude save. What's better than skeletons? Poisonous skeletons.
Will a will a 29 pass that?
29 will pass, yeah. 29 is close. Just barely.
Just barely. We got there though.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. And you feel as it punches into you, your muscles kind of like twitch and spasm and lock up a little, but you force through it. It's only a brief moment.
So do me a favor, guys. Don't get bit.
That
Second bite, not gonna hit.
that
Third
looks
bite,
like what happens when my mom comes into the room.
the faceman fishing for a 20 is a 20.
Hey, I just did that too.
It is going to be an 18 total, so it's probably just a regular hit.
It's a regular
It's a
hit.
regular hit, because, yeah, it's a -2 to hit on its -10. But it is going to get a second stab, only for 5 points of piercing damage that time. Here's the thing that hardly ever comes up when you get the crit with natural 20 and it's a regular hit because it still failed the DC, so it just goes up to a regular success. The one in the back of the room as it comes out is kind of next to Darren here, but it does not immediately swing at you. It kind of swoops its head towards you, sort of circular, but with a decent berth, a couple feet out from you, and just kind of spirals. Almost not really like a snake coiling, because it's extending up off of the ground like an elongated bone slinky. And it's kind of weaving and spiraling, undulating in a very strange way. And it twists its body so these rib-like legs on one side are clattering against the ones on the coil below as it twirls in an odd, rhythmic, chittering fashion. I need everybody to make me a will save.
I'm good at these.
23.
It had to happen.
You are flat-footed on 23, Arden.
To 28.
You are fine. You are absolutely unfazed. Darren,
12.
with a 12,
You explode.
you are stunned one, as you are just sort of hugely distracted by this.
It's like, it's gonna bite me? Is it gonna bite
yeah,
me?
it's like it's unnerving enough that it breaks your focus.
Okay.
You're stunned one, John.
13.
Wait, is he also flat-footed?
Also stunned one and flat-footed.
Okay, 'cause I was gonna say, I'll
Flat-footed
trade.
is like a part of stunned one, I think. And
I will
flat-footed.
absolutely trade
21.
stun one for flat.
21, you are just flat-footed.
Okay.
As its entire turn, kind of spiraling around here, Darren.
All right, so, stunned doesn't make me flat-footed. Interestingly enough.
But you are also flat-footed.
Oh, fair enough.
Fair enough. It does say that, but I thought that was included.
Okay. Like you kind of like get ready for a hit, then the hit just not gonna come, and it's like, all right, well, that skull over there zapped me. I don't like that. So I'm gonna stride over to the skull.
You can step over to the skull. It's only like a one over.
Oh, it's only one over? Okay, perfect. So I'll step over to the skull, and I'm going to try to disable device. I imagine Thieves' Tools would be involved, but for Flourish's sake, I imagine he'll pull his dagger and just strike up to try to jam the jaw closed to block the acid coming out of it.
Thievery check. Goodbye, table cam. Never forget you.
Say I love you.
28. Ooh.
28 absolutely succeeds. And you would jam up it would jam up the mouth there, slamming your dagger in there and shoving it back so that you kind of force this blob of goo within it to disperse, almost popping it like a little bubble, a small little spray, but the light in the skull goes out.
Nice.
Wonderful. Can you fix it? Unplug and plug back in then.
That's my 2 actions.
All right, you're stunned. That was it. Arden.
My
you've got
acid.
persistent damage. Yep.
Persistent damage.
My acid is still aciding.
Yeah, for me as well.
But burn.
Did we
my-
get to your turn since then?
Yeah,
we did get to your
I
turn
went
since
right
then.
after, but my acid is I rolled an 18 on the flat
John,
check.
you take 2. Darren, you take 1.
And I rolled an 18 on my flat check.
Okay, so you're no longer burning. Arden.
Arden will see the big bone thing, and I don't like that. Stones, help me, ferrous malachite, and he will cast a crushing ground.
Okay.
And that thing is going to need to give me a reflex save.
This is the one in front of John or the one next to the wiggling one?
The wiggling one.
Okay, wiggling
creepy
Reflex
one.
save from the wiggling creepy one.
They can't see
It
us.
is going
They
to
can't see
get-
us, but I'm
We're
doing a
wiggling.
wiggle.
We need some.
It is going to get a 25 as it twists
Wow.
and jerks up from this surprisingly quickly. These things are quite agile.
Interesting. That's scary. I don't like that. Duck?
Take cover?
Yeah.
Take cover. Floblin.
Oh, this is not fun. This is not fun. This is not fun. Do what I do best. Duck on. Produce flame.
Targeting.
And I'm flat-footed, so it's a -2.
Flat-footed doesn't matter for your attacks.
Oh, right. Never mind. It's for when they're attacking me. Never mind.
Which one are you attacking?
I'm going to attack the one that's going after Darren, and that's going to be... Give me 1 sec. New character sheet is new.
It's
You guys
just
are, like,
standing there
allergic
menacingly.
to hitting the one that has
33.
damage on it. Is that a natural 20? There's no other way you got a 30.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. 23.
I was like,
apologies.
there was a natural
I-
20, and also you somehow became expert proficiency in spells. 23 will hit.
My apologies. I misread the wrong...
23 will hit.
All right, so that's going to be 2d4.
Wrong number.
Yeah, I flip-flopped
I
the
was like,
spell
that's
attack.
not right.
I flip-flopped the spell attack with my spell save by accident, so...
Be good.
That is going to be
3 and 1.
3 and 1, so that's 4. I think it... I don't remember if it adds my stuff or not.
Yeah, if it's producing, yeah, it does.
Okay, so 4 plus 4, that's 8 total.
Okay.
And then for my last action... Tech. Put up my shield. No.
Now with this one skull jammed, there are now only a pair of shots that are firing down the hall here. One towards John, one towards Floblin. John's going to be a 23 to hit you.
It hits.
24 rather. Floblin's going to be a 19.
Just hits because I'm flat-footed.
Oh, by the power of flat-footed. John, you were going to take 7 points of acid damage. Floblin, you were going to take 6 points of acid damage, and you are both now taking...
My shield.
Okay, what's your shield's hardness at the
Well, it's
Should be 5.
it's 5, so I'm taking
Okay, so
1.
you'll take 1. You'll take 1 point of
Doesn't have
acid
to play
damage.
that.
Yeah.
Nice
And you're
shield.
still
That's what I
taking
thought.
some persistence as this
Look at me,
bashes
all
through in a
those
flash
now.
of this magic. But only 2 shots as one of the mouths is jammed shut and bringing us to John, who's also stunned 1, right?
Yeah, I'm also someone. And John.
Good advice, John. I closed the skull and it didn't shoot me.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Can you close a skull?
John is getting very irritated at this thing. He's focused.
Oh, his blood's up.
Blood's up, power attack. And my 2 actions, just straight power attack.
Oh,
2
boy.
actions, and I used them both for 1 whack.
1 whack. John's not feeling it. No, it's a 2 plus 13, so 15 total.
15's not going to land.
No.
Oh.
You are going to take 3 more points of acid damage and ref.
So I tried to shoot it, then it started wiggling even more.
Got creepier.
What in the hell is that thing? Shooting it again. I don't like it.
Gun.
Gun solves all problems.
Not
Gun
20.
solves all
Gun
problems.
solves all problems. Solid hit. All right. And as
Alrighty.
you shoot this one, it's undulating all strange like. And you hit it so hard that the Juju 299 gives me a card here. 2 card? Squeeze
Whoa.
points. But wait, there's more.
Oh my
2
God.
of card. I have. Ooh, this might be relevant immediately. Last ounce of strength.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
That's a good roll. Whoa! That is almost max
Speed.
on D12s.
So I rolled a 12 and an 8 on the dice that multiply, and then a 12 on the fatal.
Jeez.
It took 60 damage.
Yeah, it explodes.
Gun solves problem.
You shoot the wiggling one, and it just blows up. Ribs flying down the hallway as it completely collapses into a limp pile on the ground.
Man, I cannot wait to shoot something and see that happen.
Sorry, it took 56.
Still dead.
Yeah.
Still super dead.
Well,
Well, you get 2 actions. That was 1 action.
yeah, that solves that problem. I'm just gonna reload my gun.
Are all guns like
And,
that one?
No, this one, Bets, is kind of special. As I peek around the corner. You know, I don't like this. Bang. Why is there more? Why are we here? What is happening?
I feel like that's
That's
more.
the question I've been asking.
Necromancer lair.
I could go over the mission again.
I think you have it written down a little bit.
I do.
15. No.
15 is not going to hit, no.
I had a brain fart. Couldn't do basic
one-
math.
Math is hard.
Remaining Wiggler here
Wiggly.
is going to attempt to take one more bite out towards John. Hasn't been terribly successful so far, but you're flat-footed now.
Oh,
so
I'm
maybe
so flat-footed.
flat-footed and you're acidified. Remember what I have? I don't want to use it for rerolling this. 19.
Do it.
19 hit because I'm flat-footed.
19 hits.
See, this is
'cause
what you
you're
get for putting the shield away.
flat-footed.
I don't want the shields.
You're going to take 10 points of piercing damage and make me a fortitude save. Oh, wait, no, you critically succeeded, so you don't have to make me a fortitude save. You are immune to this at this point.
John is not looking good for those of us with any ounce of care.
And then with that good snap there, it is just going to... I was going to have it move, but it's completely mindless. It's just going to keep tearing at John. This thing has no brain.
It has no moral
No
compass.
brain, only bite.
Oh yeah, it's an empty skull cavity.
Brains over
13.
bones.
13 does not hit. John is just... He has it. He's wrestling it now. I'm going to grab it.
Hey, when this thing moves, does it skull?
16. 16 with
No.
a minus 10. 16 not going to land, though. And
Get
at
it?
the end of its turn, you all kind of regain your composure. You get your heads back in the fight. You're no longer flat-footed.
All right.
Darren.
So this thing is, man, John's looking rough. All right. First things first, Bone Snake. Running reload. I'm going to stride and reload my gun as I go.
Wait, you can take this as not a gunslinger?
Ranger.
Ranger.
It's a ranger
Oh,
feat.
yeah,
Ranger!
Ranger feet.
Yep.
Nice.
Man, you're ready for this. Fair enough.
So I'm going to stride down the hallway as I quickly reload the gun and swing around to the opposite side of the snake, flanking it with John.
Mindless snake does not have attack of opportunity, so
Hope so.
you get to the backside here and prepare yourself for
Hunt prey and swing at it.
savagery. All right.
That's 10 on the dice. That's going to be a 20.
20's gonna hit. 20 will hit flat-footed.
Alrighty, that's okay. That's 18, 21 points of slashing damage.
Okay, a solid hit. And between that and John's strike, you've taken 2 pretty massive hits into this thing. But not enough to break through the spine that's keeping it going. Not enough to bring it down.
And I'm still on acidy.
Still on
You
it.
take 3.
Okay.
Arden.
Granulate adamantum! He'll say, targeting the bone thing, and rocks will jumble around him and go flinging at him, trying to knock pieces of the bone off. That's Scatter Scree. He's going to need to make me a reflex save. Everyone's favorite.
20.
That will regular succeed, so he will still take some damage.
I mean, it's better to
Scatter
know
Scree
damage.
even have dice? I thought Scatter Scree was like a day's thing. Oh,
No,
fair
no,
enough.
no.
Okay.
It does. It has
I'm thinking
dice.
of something else.
It's cantrip.
It's a cantrip.
Yeah, I thought it was a just modifier thing. Someone had it in the Last Extinction Cruise campaign, but I think it only got cast literally once.
I think it does. Its thing is does like difficult terrain.
Yeah, it makes it square difficult, right?
2, 4, 5, 8. So it will take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Already halved.
That was already halved.
So as you hit it with these pile of rocks, it's bludgeoning damage, yeah?
It is.
You see these rocks very effectively crack through the thin, spindly bones of this thing, breaking it away with much more efficiency than you would expect, almost doubling 4 damage. Trigger weakness is trigger weakness.
Hey, guys,
Wait,
hit
how
it
much
with
damage did I
rocks.
do?
I told you,
Goblin.
I told you rocks were the answer.
Ding.
Disregard. Goblin.
Right. So, John's not looking too good whatsoever.
I feel
Wait.
fine. I feel great. This is amazing.
I mean, you got
He says he's fine.
you got a few burns on you that weren't from fire, and that's concerning. So,
The acid does that to people.
I'm gonna do well. To be fair, I know we don't like each other very much, but I'm gonna do the reasonable thing and do much. But before I cast much, I have this wonderful new card. Well, not new, but I've been holding on to it for a while. Stroke the magical flame. I'm going to immediately heighten the spell I'm casting. I'm gonna cast
Can't
it.
stroke your magical flame on screen.
Whoa!
We're fine.
If only they saw my face.
Then
I basically heighten it for
by
free.
1 level. Yep, plus 1 level to your
So,
spell here.
2 action heal. You see a very, very bright white flame, and he just gently throws it towards you, and you feel all your wounds just. So it's going to be 2d8
Super
plus.
cauterized.
24.
Huh?
Yeah,
Should be-
if it's a third. Are you casting it at 2nd level plus 1?
Or is it?
No,
first
it
level
can't go
plus
higher than what I
Oh,
can
so
cast.
you're
So I'm
casting
doing the
the
level
first
1.
level thing.
I'm doing a level
2d8
1,
plus
but I'm
16.
basically
That's still
getting
plus
a
Oh,
free
yeah,
level
yeah,
2.
it says that. Fair enough.
So it's a 2d8 plus 16,
Yep.
which is a 30.
Fat numbers.
Fat numbers, baby.
So-
Thank you.
Welcome back to full health.
No,
No.
How you feeling?
Some slaps.
Welcome back to close to full health.
a little bit over half.
Very good.
How much health do you have?
64.
I'm so
He's-
proud
he's
of
a
him.
fighter, dude.
I'm so proud of him.
Look at this man surviving.
I took a
One
hell.
action left, Loblin.
When in doubt, touch shield again.
You can't.
Did you
Oh,
ever-
wait,
can't,
that's
you
right.
broke it.
broke it.
John? Yeah.
Yeah, my shield's gone. I can't do it again. Okay.
Goes to cast it. Oh, what?
Well, in that case, I'm going to scuttle around the corner because I don't want to play with that right now. So I'm
Sneak back behind Arden.
just sneak back behind Arden.
And you take 4 points of acid damage. And then roll me your flat check to see if that wears off.
Alrighty.
Let's hope it's a fat check.
While the
That was an 8 on the
2
die. So
skulls
nope.
at the back of the room will now spit towards Darren
Yeah.
for a 22
Just hits.
and John for a 21.
Just hits.
I rolled 1 lower on the second. I don't have to tell you that the number was 1 lower.
Clearly.
I think you can probably put it together.
I have a trap magnet on me, so I just always get hit.
It's probably
Darren?
the metal breastplate.
It's not a breastplate.
Darren, you take 5 points of acid damage, and John, you take 8 points of acid damage. And you're both still bubbling. John, your turn.
All right, this is stupid. I'm gonna go down to the trap at the very far end of the thing.
It's not dead yet.
You got this. I'm going to try to smash this trap.
Okay, make me an attack roll.
So frustrated.
No, I want to power attack this trap.
This trap is horrible and I hate it.
This trap is horrible and I hate it.
Hit the wall.
18?
Not the attack roll now.
No,
You can try it again. You got an action left.
no,
Move,
power attack.
No, we power attack.
Yeah. I just literally just angrily
You got a
shouting out.
scythe. This is like the least effective
Yes, it
thing
is.
to batter a wall down with.
Intelligence 10.
Wait,
You can't just say intelligence 10.
wait. so
I
you
don't
guys
know
want
what
me
else to do.
Actually, I can. Intelligence 10.
See?
Breath.
Look, I did
Intelligence
it.
12. Wait, so y'all want me to shoot the glow skeleton, not the wiggler skeleton?
Wiggle skeleton, please.
Glowy skeleton, please.
I got that.
Well, I'll try for both.
No, I got the wiggles. That came out
I'm gonna
wrong.
aim for the one in the wall,
Okay,
glowing. That is the trap.
give me a shot.
19 on the die.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Does.
32.
Bullet shatters into the one across the hall from John here. As you see the front of the skull just get blasted off, and probably the next like 2 skulls down the line too from the angle that the green light goes out there, leaving just the one that you're at still bubbling and firing.
Thank you.
Well, there's still one more, and you just hear chink.
Down, everyone.
It's one that John's
Boom.
literally right in front of.
So that'll be a 19. That one will hit the right area, but not the right skull.
And then our
It's hard
wiggling-
past all the things happening.
wiggling skeletal demon thing. Darren's thrown a good hit at it. It's gotten hit by a bunch of weird little rocks It's just going to turn around and start biting at Darren.
Yes, it will.
Intelligence, not the strong suit of the mindless snake of Majig. 23.
Hit.
Heard you like acid both in and out of your
You're
body.
going to take 8 points of piercing damage, and then I need that fort save.
Fortitude save is trash. That's a 12.
And as it bites into you,
You said 8?
8, yeah. You've seen it bite through John a few times, but now you feel, as it kind of slashes up into your side, your muscles twitch and spasm and then seize. And
Why didn't you shoot the...
right as that sound comes out, you see Darren just freeze and lock. You are paralyzed.
He got bit, didn't he?
Yeah, a little bit.
I didn't tell you not to get bits. This is like the second thing out of my mouth.
Never helping you again.
So you are paralyzed now, as it just continues to attempt to bite into Darren. The good news in second edition is defensively that's just flat-footed.
Yep.
So it's just a -2. It used to make your AC like 5 in first edition. I think it literally just set your AC to 5 in first edition. Then we'd also
Probably put your dex to 0,
put
so
your dex
now
to
you're
0,
at... You lose your
and it
dex
just
bonus and you go down to
it was
-5.
It was the bad times for everyone involved, really. Second Bido, 21.
Hit.
7 more points of piercing damage. Third
'Kay.
Bido.
It poisons you
No
2 more times.
way, that one hits. 13.
Yeah, that one... That one, the armor helps. It's
Hitting onto the steel of your, your scale mail.
Scale, yeah.
That's biting. And Darren, maybe a will save.
just gonna seethe quietly.
You have any mental actions you can take?
Seething.
Seething quiet, fair enough.
Seething quietly.
Seething and
Right.
coping.
Huh?
You hump prey, is that a mental action?
You can
It
hunt
is.
prey.
It
It's
is
mentally.
concentrate. Actually, I'll hunt prey, John. Oh, good. Darren's distracted the big snake thing. I'm gonna go hit the skull.
What's your will save?
Hey, you. 14. Wrath, shoot the skull. I don't like the architecture.
He is, Darren's completely paralyzed. You see this snake skeleton just savaging him with these jaws, just punching and ripping into him as he just sits there motionless.
Oh boy, this is not good. I'm gonna move up between the thing and Darren.
There's not a square that's between the thing and Darren.
Just walk up and hug it.
I'm gonna walk up so that hopefully it will want to hit me instead.
Hey, I'm moving. Bite me.
Hit me!
And then he will go,
Still flanking.
take this! Sedimentus Magnum! And he'll throw another scatter scree at it since that seemed to work so well the first time.
19.
That's going to fail.
Hey, full damage.
There we go.
And because it failed,
Oh, you know what you can do on your turn, Darren. You can take 3 more points of acid.
Hey, and I
Yeah.
can roll to see if it stops.
Same.
It doesn't.
You've missed.
Did I forget you last time? I think I
No.
4.
and that'll be 7 points of damage.
So as these rocks hit into this like clamped and burrowed into Darren's scale mill, this little tiny bits of rubble from around the hall smash through the thing's spindly body, snapping the spine apart 2 different places and leaving the head just sort of hanging off of Darren's scale mill, just dangling towards the ground, one fang still embedded
That's
in him.
really disturbing.
But it's dead.
But it is dead. Floblin.
I kind of slowly creep back around the corner to see, because I hear the bones falling, so I assume it's hopefully dead. So I'm gonna take a little
Doesn't
peek.
appear to be dead.
Oh,
You
wonderful!
can see John at a green skull. There's it's like a mining pit with his scythe, which is surely terrible for the blade.
It's magic now. Doesn't
Darren,
matter.
how are you looking?
Paralyzed.
He's like very paralyzed, he's motionless. It's hard to tell.
I have a giant
He's definitely
jawbone buried in
bleeding
my...
from the wound from the jaw that's still embedded into his side.
I'm looking in rough shape.
Why do I have to always help the kid? Match heightened heal once again, and it's my signature spell, so I can definitely cast it for that.
Second level spell slot going out here.
2 action heal, so 2d8 plus 16 for Mr. Darren. That is going to be 8 plus 16 is 24.
I'll take it. Thank you.
And I think you'll stop bleeding, hopefully. Maybe.
Well, you'll find out.
That's a funny thought. Speaking of bleeding,
If it
Floblin,
Are you
was
you
bleeding.
take 1 acid damage.
Okay.
I rolled a 16 on my flat check.
I can't see what that is. That is a 3.
Good news, John. You stopped taking persistent acid damage.
Hit me.
Bad news.
Hit me, you
John,
stupid
you
trap.
were directly in front of it. It's actually
Yes.
hitting you.
Hits me.
24,
It,
25.
it hits.
You are taking
It,
persistent
it
acid
follows instructions. I'll stop working.
7.
There you
This
go.
has been the most consistent 2d6 I think I've ever rolled. I rolled 7 or 6 almost every single damage roll for this trap. 7 points of acid damage, and you are sizzling again.
I mean, that's better than consistently rolling boxcars.
That's fair. Now it is your turn, John.
Hit it back.
I hit it back. I'm actually going to turn the scythe around and use the part where the blade is into the, just bludgeoning it.
Top of the half.
Yeah.
Batter at it.
First hit, natural 1.
The balance is
Turns
all
out
off.
that's not what sights are
Acid
for.
in my eyes!
It turns out I'm being very creative with my use of weaponry here. Second hit, the 13 plus 13 minus 5, 21.
21 will hit it and smash the final of the
I
glowing
know it.
skulls here. As with that,
And I hit it again.
just for good measure, because screw 'em. But with that, the sounds in the hallway finally fall silent, leaving just the group of you
On acid.
sizzling and Darren still locked up. So at the end of your turn, John, you would take 2 more acid damage.
All right. I'm still on acid.
What are you guys doing? There's still 2 of you. John and Floblin are still clearly sizzling, and Darren is still completely frozen.
I'm gonna go over to. Well, I guess Floblin's right here sizzling, and I'm just gonna get my water skin out and start.
Maybe a pledge.
I'm going to just like start just take off
9.
quickly. Try to take off the breastplate. I think you can take breastplates off quickly.
I mean, you
Straps.
can start peeling stuff off for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that you can just start pulling off,
Yeah,
like
just
cloaks and belts. and
whatever
things
has
that
the
are
most
soaked.
acid on it.
Make me a flat check.
For a 13.
You're good.
Yeah.
You get enough of it off that it doesn't bite through you any further. Floblin, what are you doing? You're getting water dumped on you.
I'm not happy about that at all. You literally just see a big thing of steam coming off, and then I'm like, okay, burn through the paint. I just purposely raise my body temperature to just see if I can just
burn
burn
the
it
acid
off.
off. Flat check.
If I can get it into the tray.
There's not a rule about having the tray closer to you. That is allowed.
Yeah, true. That was a 6. That was not gonna happen.
4 more points of acid damage.
Awesome.
I feel this isn't going well.
And
Can I try
Floblin's
to
still just-
shake off my
You will
paralysis
save,
again?
Darren?
19?
With that, you would force through it. You would force through and start to
help.
your body
I'm
again.
gonna help Darren to his
Can I
feet.
scrape that acid off of me and just try to...
Are you okay, Darren?
No, I'm not okay.
I don't think any of us are okay.
I went up to help, and then you all just left me to this thing.
I didn't leave you. I stood between you and it.
Seeing as the acid is still going on Floblin, I'm going to attempt to pour more water
just
on that.
walked over.
Not
No, not
right
again.
to make it
Beside
worse.
Stop it! This literally burns my
17.
At 17, you would dump enough water in the steam cycling off of his body that it would get enough of the acid.
Floblin
No
is
longer
in
burning.
fetal position on the floor.
It's
Heavy
fine. I
PTSD.
stopped the acid from burning you.
But the water hurts even more.
Well, it's not killing you.
It feels like it is. Do you not say hello? I made a fire.
The acid was burning you alive.
The acid
I'd rather
was
have
burning
that.
you alive.
Do you need a little
I'm
help?
good.
No,
I'm
he's-
good.
Let
I'm
him
fine.
sulk. Let him be mad.
Shut up, John. You're a jerk.
Was it there to get shot by the acid trap even more?
Does anybody need help?
Between me getting almost eaten and
I'm-
you
I'm
taking
fine.
a little bit of extra prickliness, I think I know what I care about.
They seem really upset.
I'm not
Well,
upset.
rightfully so. They look
I'm
like they
treating
almost
wounds
died.
myself.
As you sit down and do that, Reth and Floblin in the passageway, you hear the creak of hinges as the stone door to the small tunnel opens.
Oh, I'm
then
gonna
you hear some-
call it out behind us. Move right over.
And looking at it, as you look around the corner, you would see a tiny little figure with much flatter, kind of almost like matted down to his head like it was wet, grimy white hair. Look around the table with a kind of scar up on his lip that pulls him into a constant, like, confused little sneer. He ducks behind the table as you point the gun at him.
Just pointing
You
it.
see at least a couple more figures in that passageway with him.
They're at the door. Arden, can you talk to him?
What did he say?
And you hear, and the table goes, like
I'm gonna run
inch.
over to it and boot it.
Oh, they're behind the door trying to push.
Behind the door, they're trying to get in. Talk to them.
I think we're all.
In Undercommon, what are you doing? Why do you want to hurt us?
What are we doing? You are intruders. We kill. Give bodies for free.
But why do you want our bodies? It seems impolite.
They push the. Make me an athletics check. There.
After that, I'm gonna.
I'm not coming. Does this trap reactivate?
So
It'd
that
be
is
funny.
a
More skulls.
14.
With a 14. What is your strength mod?
Don't worry.
Idiot?
I'm gonna help you bar this door.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to help.
With a 14, you're holding it, but just barely.
I'm not trained in athletics.
They're not either.
I see Reth give a little bit. I just walk over and I put my whole weight into it too. Just, all right, Zen.
You hear a deeper voice. You would understand it in Undercommon. Already got away. Let me move it.
There's a bigger thing behind it.
Step back.
Bigger thing behind it.
All right, I'm going to
Get
crouch down and shoot through it.
Oh, that's a step back, all right.
Give me your concealment check. Because you're just blind shooting through this
16.
flimsy wooden table. And then give me a hit roll.
Please be a 20.
That
No,
would be-
10, 23.
23 will hit.
Please.
So 9 damage.
Okay. So the bullet rips through the table as you see a third of these figures with a little crossbow in its hand. Put its shoulder down and just much more easily slamming this thing out of the way. This guy's got a squat, bulbous face. His ears so far down they're almost coming out of his neck. His hair, just a bunch of almost pasta-like gross matted strands sticking almost straight up from his blue scalp as it reveals 3 of these little craps in the tunnel. The
Lovely.
one who you'd seen run off in the front yelp as she takes a bullet. I'm gonna need initiative again, my friends.
Yeah.
Better.
There it is.
That's about right.
That's about right.
The 17. I can roll some hot initiative today.
All right, Floblin.
22.
John.
29.
John is tired.
I rolled a
of this crap.
natural 20.
Darren, do you want to be on the table? What?
You can put me there. That's fine. I'm a 13.
I'll put you over.
It's about right.
Red.
I got a 22. You can go first.
Okay.
And Arden.
30.
Okie dokie.
Was
I need
this one in the front, or did he just?
I
the
guess
girls in the front.
I would be
Well, I guess he
here,
would have pushed away in the front, actually.
and
Yeah,
you
he's
would
in the front
be-
now. She got hit as he came forward.
I thought all the boys
because
kept the
we're
girl
both
in the
right in
back.
front of the door.
Yep.
So the women, 19. And the
It's just like, I hear too many things happening. Nope.
guy is busy kicking the table. He gets an 8. So Arden, you are first here as he batters his table out of the way. Been right in front of John and Reth.
I'm going to. So can I see through the door in all 3 of them?
You can probably see them all kind of huddled around the tunnel. Anyone but the guy in front's gonna have cover, but you can see them all.
I'm gonna step in between Reth and John.
Not a space there.
There's no space. Oh, there's no space
we're
there.
standing side by side.
very
Side by
narrow
side.
space
Got it.
room.
And he'll yell out in Undercommon. Is there any chance of us calling it, peace or anything before we kill you?
Yeah, it'll be good peace. Rolf will love these bodies.
Okay, maybe not.
Many pieces.
Okay, maybe not. Incontambolorum? and I'll throw a scatter scree, and some bones will come out and try to crush the one up front. Give me a reflex save.
26.
Ooh. I guess that does matter because that now makes the doorway difficult terrain.
It does make the doorway difficult terrain.
That will succeed, so she will take half. Six, 10. Take 5.
Okay. And that leaves you with one action left.
Which I will use to duck a little bit more out of the way.
Take cover. John.
Do you want to actually move or just right there?
No, you can
Just right there.
take cover.
All right, then this is going nowhere. John, I'm first action is going to hit this guy in the front. Just a normal strike. For 21.
21 will hit him.
21 will hit him. As the scythe comes down on him for a total of a 13. And then as the scythe, he twists the scythe in his grip and he comes back for another swipe. He's going to attempt to trip. So with a -5 for a total of a 24 to trip.
With a -5? Holy crap. Yeah, you'll knock him on the ground.
Yep. All right then. Whatever. And then I'm gonna use my last action to kind of take my scythe and pin him down with it to make him an easier target for whoever wants to step up and just hit him.
Okay. 2.
Aid.
Aid.
Oh, the 8, fair enough.
Yep.
Floblin.
Well, when in doubt, kill it with fire. Dalcard!
Through the back of the room, shooting over some tables here. He's got cover, but he's also prone, so it's a wash.
So that's a 28.
28 will hit.
2d4. That's gonna be 10 total. 10 fire damage.
Let's get big bully.
Touch shield for my last action.
And then Wrath.
Well, I shot through when they couldn't get to me, but now there's nothing really stopping them because the table's got a big hole in it. So I think I'm going to back up to behind the table, covered reload, and then blast the one with the crossbow in the back.
Okay, yeah, the two in the back. The one the furthest back has a small crossbow out, like just a weird little rudimentary hand crossbow. The one in the front has that same weapon you've seen her leave with.
Yeah.
Notably, the guy in the ground also has another one of those weapons.
But he's
it's like
on the
a
ground.
weird arced bladed club with a rope and a weight on the far end.
So blasting a shot towards the one in the far back. Well, that will be a 3 on the die for a 16 total.
16's not gonna land it, and as she kind of dips back in this tunnel here, she is going to duck back against the wall and take cover, and then aim out with her crossbow, and she's gonna loose a shot right back towards you. Ref, as you guys are in this embattled gunfight across the front lines here.
We're both hunkered down, just taking
You're
shots.
both in greater cover, just punch on each other. Like,
It's a duel.
$31.
Whoa.
Not a crit.
Not a crit. Greater
Cover.
cover. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Greater cover's 4, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
With
19. That was a very high roll.
no cover bonus, that would have crit me.
Okay, good thing you're using cover. So this small little crossbow bolt is going to hit you for 1 point of damage. It is almost shooting like a tiny little...
It's like a sewing needle.
I'm already making the fortitude save.
Yeah.
Nat
Natural
20.
20.
All right, you feel it kind of sting and burn a little bit. You clearly poisoned their bolts, but it's also fairly weak, and it barely like got into you.
Small bolt.
You see her pull another bolt out as she's
bolts are
back there, hunkering in his tunnel and reload the crossbow.
I'll announce to everybody the poison on the crossbow bolt.
The one in front of her has this little club thing in her hand, and she's going to pull back and like let it out of her grip a little bit, so she's holding rope, and then swing it in a tiny little arc over her hand and over the guy in front of her towards John's ankles. She is going to make a trip attempt. Yes, she is 10 feet away from you.
Yes.
Trying to steal your ankles.
She's an
I wonder who
ankle
she
bandit.
learned that from.
She's actually the boss.
Natural 20.
Okay.
That's the best place to get a natural 20 is on the trip instead of whacking you. But this little club hits on the ground, kind of cracking around your shin as this rope loops around your ankle, pulls you down. You're going to take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as she yanks your leg out from under you and you slam down into the floor.
And she snapped her shins clean.
And then she's going to pull it back and swing it back down again, but this time just aiming this little club thing towards your head.
Take cover.
John, the only party member we enjoy seeing get injured.
Wait,
Why?
Is this legally a ranged attack?
It is a ranged attack.
You get a +2 to AC because you're prone.
That's not in second edition.
It is.
You only have to take cover. You're just flat-footed.
Being prone gives you a bonus. And you can take cover to get a greater bonus.
We looked at this the other day and it was not a thing.
It is.
Let me look through all of my cards because I don't know what prone is. I stopped
You have to
referencing
take
prone.
cover to get. You
Yeah,
take
that's
cover to
right.
get greater cover against range attacks.
You are flat-footed. Oh yeah, it's right here. Yeah, it does. That's first edition.
Yep.
So you swings a 24. She's just these are just belting 19s and 20s out. 24 to hit your flat foot.
It hits my flat-footed.
Okay, and then you're gonna see this thing kind of bonk,
I'm just,
catching John pretty good for 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
is it the hook or is it the bludgeoning tool? What's this happening?
It is like an arced little club thing that looks like it's like sharpened down on one side, but not enough to be like a blade. It's like
Okay.
a banana club, kind of. Like a really big cashew, sort of.
He's hitting you with a giant
You
cat.
keep changing your description of this thing, and it keeps getting weirder in
It's
my
like
head.
an angry banana.
It's
I don't understand.
It's just gnome things. That's all I'd
It's
say.
just a gnome thing. All right, then.
It's basically a club on a frickin' rope, is what it is.
No,
and
that's
then
totally
she's gonna,
different.
She's using her third action to the attack to pull it back into her hand. How's Darren?
Oh, geez, they have poison over there. That sounds awful. Man, I'm just glad I'm not over there. Just
He's complaining.
running
when I
that
told-
gauze on. Just gotta patch up where those bite marks got me.
The guy in front is going to stand up, which does provoke him, John. You're
Yeah,
prone,
I'm
so you
taking
you
it.
got a -2.
I'm at a -2, but you know what?
John double
prone,
homicide
so-
killer.
Prone, so yeah, it's a wash.
8 plus 13, so it's
21 down.
21. Yeah, with the -2, but with a wash. As he goes to stand up, just reaction. Just I don't even know how you use a scythe lying on the ground. That's a very hard thing to imagine.
That's why I'm taking -2.
Carefully.
I just, like, it literally just kind of pops over and just
Like a sippy bird.
it hits like a sippy bird for 8 damage.
Fair enough.
Just pecks him in the head. Just
But he gets up and you hit him with this, and he kind of staggers a little step back, and just looks down at you, incensed, as you're trying to swing this. Slams his angry banana cashew down against the blade of your scythe to knock out of the way, and just jumps on John.
oh, he's in my elements.
So this is gonna be against your fort DC. It is a grapple.
Okay.
It's going against the Knives Use champion here.
I'm absolutely gonna reroll this. I'll use my 2 cards. It's worth. No 2s on the die here.
Ones.
And as you're prone already, and he stands up, he's only like 3.5 feet tall. He doesn't get a whole lot of height on you prone. This is the opportunity that he's got. And he like full bodied dives on top of you for a 21
That is exact lethal.
with your 4 DC.
Yeah, for DC 21.
And it knocks your blade out of the way with this little thing, and then with both hands just slams this little cashew thing down on your throat. And this little angry gnome drow thing is just on top of John, just strangling him with his weird little bladed club.
I feel like I should pay for this.
You are grabbed, and you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cash this in. Last stand until the start of my next turn. Any damage that reduces me to 0 hit points instead reduces me down to 1.
Ooh!
And then there's more to that. I need to read the rest of it, but I get doomed conditioned.
You're just doomed 1.
Yep.
And that's it. You have 1 hit point, you're doomed 1. As he is successfully choking the life out of John on the floor here. Arden.
This is the WWP.
Actually, he's got 1 action? No, that's too bad.
Looks like you could use some help up there. He'll walk up beside John now that Reth is out of the way.
Same places.
Beside or diagonal?
Beside.
Okay.
Yeah. Malachitus Infernus! And he'll reach his hands out, and fire will form in his hands and cast out of them all the way through the hallway. That's burning hands.
Perfect burning hand situation. Smoke them the hell out. Okie dokie. So the guy in the front, who is grabbing, which is flat-footed, doesn't affect his reflex save. Guy in the front gets a 20 even.
Okay.
And
That
it's actually,
will...
everyone has a different modifier because greater cover applies a reflex too, so I gotta roll them all into that individually. That's a 20. The girl behind him that you'd seen initially with the Bloodseekers gets a 19.
Let's fail.
And the one in the back has greater cover. What's your DC?
20.
Greater cover girl has plus 16 to reflex right now with the greater cover bonus.
Give me a 1.
26.
It's still a
Not
regular
critical.
fail,
Not a
not
critical,
critical.
yeah.
Take half.
Okay. So we are
2 halves and a whole.
That's the owl. That's the yelp from her getting singed.
Honestly, I'm
love
surprised
the
it's
little
2 halves
ear
and a
out.
whole with how high their reflex is.
They are. Well, the guy in the front is not very reflex.
They also all have to give me fortitude saves
Okay.
because I'm
spice
switching
there.
element.
Because element attunement, yeah.
Okie dokie. 2 girls definitely fail. Guy gets a 26.
Then the 2 who failed are both fatigued.
Okay.
It's Sirocco all
Minus
over
1
again.
AC.
So all over again.
It's -1 AC and you can't make exploration. Well, -1 to saves too.
Oh, that's nice hand saves. All right, fair enough.
I'm
Need a
fatigued. I should know.
D6. Wow.
Ooh, 5, 4, 5, 6.
-1 AC and saves. Fatigue
That's
is
going to
money.
be 15 points of fire damage.
Okay, so in the middle takes the full 15. The one in the back takes 7. And the guy in the front takes 7. And as you hit him with this right in front of you, this absolutely like incinerates this little guy who's on top of John, just strangling him, burning off like almost the whole side of his face as he's just through like pure hate still going here, barely clinging to life. John.
Can you get off me? Oh my god, this is so stupid.
Oh, look, at least he's
He's exasperated.
Why?
roasty gnomes.
John is going to drop the scythe out of his hand because this is not a situation to be using this. He's gonna power attack the gnome while he's being grappled by the gnome. Just punch him.
It's just a big old. It's just turned into a wrestling contest.
It's just a wrestling contest.
Well, he's grappling you, and he's not protecting his stomach, so you just start uppercutting him in the
Yeah,
gut.
that would matter if I would roll higher than a 5.
You just gotta believe.
That's a total of a 17.
17 to his flat-footed
also
fatigue.
Flat-footed while he's
He should be.
He should be.
Is fatigued.
Fatigue is
circumstance?
-1 AC.
Do they stack? Or is it fatigue circumstance? Fatigue is status. That hits.
Hey.
There you go.
It's the power
I
attack.
don't know why I keep looking at cards and I have this GM screen that literally has all of the conditions.
Because the
right
cards are nice.
Cards are cool and I like them.
For 10
Dude
damage.
has literally 1 health.
Yeah, it's a good old punch to the head.
It's the 1 health fight. Whoever hits first wins.
And you catch him, big ol' hook, and just what do you do to him?
And it's literally just a punch to the head, shove him back in the hall, and I'm gonna boot scoot back.
And he should have been dead because I forgot to roll another D6.
That is
I only
butt-
rolled 3 and not 4.
I butt scoot back.
All right, Floblin.
Giant.
He has
It's auto-
44 damage and has 45
Yeah.
health.
Well then, I'm gonna go ahead and hop
You're right, it
onto
is
the
3d6.
table.
I'm dumb. I was right.
Here, so I can get a better visual of the remaining 2 in the back. And then I'm gonna cash in my last card as I start charging up my laser. Shoot through.
Yes.
Hey, perfect.
Nice.
You see the one in the back?
One in back, fire ray.
She's flat-footed.
And
she
ignores.
She doesn't get covered from the one in front of her. She still has greater cover from being in greater cover. But she is flat-footed, so she gets she gets that on top of it. So she basically has regular cover.
That was a 15 on the die, so that's a total of 27.
27 will definitely hit. I think you go home if 27 doesn't hit.
And
the weird
because
little
I'm level
numbers.
4,
Big fire array.
big fire rate. 4d6. Pew pew. Very low numbers,
Sad. I
unfortunately.
see sad dice.
That's
2, 2, a 1 and 1.
6.
you got your highs, you got your
6
lows.
plus 2 from Burn It. So
Yep. So
8.
8 damage. That makes me sad.
That's points on the board.
But it's points on the board.
Points on the board.
And now you see the smoldering commencing as his curse is being initiated.
And Wrath behind Flabla jumps up in front of you and starts to ignite, emanating smoke and fire.
I have a thing specifically for circumstances like this,
Okay.
and that is
A
cover
gun?
fire.
Oh. He's using the goblin as cover.
So
Everyone else does.
I'm used as a lantern. I'm used
Goblins
as
are
cover.
objects. When are you going to learn this?
I mean, fair.
yeah, so just to make sure that I was reading it right, essentially they get to take cover for free if they choose, the closest one.
She is not. She can take cover. She can take cover.
And she will take a -2 to ranged attacks. And I get a +1 to this shot
All right.
if she doesn't.
She does take cover.
Yeah, so this is just, it's a normal shot
So
for
she
me.
has regular cover, and the one that. Well, she would also. She's also. in the
It
tunnel.
gives
She'd
her,
also have greater.
yeah, it gives her greater, but the trade-off is she takes a -2.
If you hit her through greater cover, I'm gonna be pretty impressed.
He
She got
roll
AC.
20.
12, 25.
Oh, he did it. Holy, it's exactly 25. He did it. Wow.
Wow.
Never say never.
Gunslinger
exactly
things.
landed it. He actually did it.
That is a 6 and a 7, so 13, 15 damage.
You guys are completely illegal, or like allergic to. You have declared it illegal to put all of your damage into one target. You have 30 on the one of the in front and 24 on the one in the back.
And then covered reload, so I maintain my cover bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to shoot again. They both have greater cover.
Yeah, they both got greater
so
cover up that
doesn't
tunnel.
matter
They're
who.
hunkered in.
That is 2 lower on the roll, so that will definitely be a miss.
All right.
As
Well,
the first one sneaks in there, the second one hits the rock
how's
and
Darren
glances
doing?
off.
Darren, oh,
Darren
Darren's doing
check in.
great.
Darren Hall.
I'm not getting shot. I'm not getting strangled. Darren's doing great.
Just grumpily bandaging himself.
Oh no, I'm feeling. I heard John getting strangled. I feel pretty chuffed actually right now.
The one
He's wearing a robe. It's Darren's day off.
in the front is going to take a step forward to the mouth of the cave, stepping out of her cover. Before taking cover again, 1 square further forward in the mouth of the cavern here to still keep the greater cover. And then just swing. She's got John crawling away on the ground, Arden up here, shooting Gigafire. Problem. Swing at Gigafire. Please no more giant fire down the tunnel, thank you. -2, because it's range attacking with the Oculus. So 20 even.
That is going to miss as Arden swiftly steps back to the side.
You have
AC 21.
AC.
All of us do. Mostly.
Oh yeah, we're 4 now. I guess we're
Yeah.
21 AC is the baseline now. Just barely whiffing on that one.
Pretty much the only one
You want to
who...
move her up there, and then the one in the back. Her crossbow's reloaded. She's gonna peek out. She's gonna take a shot up at Floblin as he's standing on the table, all big and open and on fire.
Reaction, fake out.
What does that do?
It lets me read it so I can remember if this is...
Don't read me the name of the ability
It's-
from the book. Tell me what you do.
Yes, it's a thing that happens on ranged attacks. Allies attacks, sorry. I haven't looked at it in a minute.
27 to hit Floblin.
Oh,
29 to hit Floblin.
that's a hit.
Yeah.
That's right up on the table, big and open.
Well, I couldn't see otherwise.
Not a crit, and that's what matters.
What matters?
That's what we're looking for.
You're gonna take 3 points of piercing damage and make me a fortitude save.
Boy.
3 points. I keep forgetting these things.
They're hand crossbows.
Twink.
They do d6.
Nat 20.
They're poison delivery systems, and they're not working.
I just literally burned it.
And she's gonna see it hit and burn off. The one in front that you saw here in the first place is like swinging this Aglis and screaming, and the one in the back
The bolt.
disappears down the tunnel.
Nope.
I don't like that.
The bolts are too small to actually pierce the flesh.
Arden.
What would you like to surrender now?
Now surrender your parts to Rolf when he returns. Vrieg will love this.
Oh, okay then. I guess that's a no. Well then I guess get rocked, and he will once again make the walls spring up around these things, and rocks will bash into him. It also makes where he's standing difficult terrain.
16.
That's gonna
Very
fail.
bad save.
So 7, 8, 9, 10. He is going to take 11 points of damage.
Alrighty. Now the square in front of and the square just inside the tunnel. They're both difficult terrain
Correct.
with bits of scatter scree. One extra.
I am going to move back a little since he seems to be very angry with me. She. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you a he.
John.
John. I'm going to stand up.
I get knocked down.
This thing is just standing right around the corner, isn't it? Yes, it is. I'm going to step up to the corner where I see it. I'm going to look at it.
And she's pretty bloodied at this point. She's got blood running down from her nose and her mouth. One of her eyes basically swollen closed. And she sees you come back on the corner and looks up. Kind of like shrinks back a little bit, bares her teeth.
I'm going to grab her.
It's just, you are mine now. You're leaving.
I could roll higher than a 10 for an 18.
18 to 16. She's not trained in athletics. Well, it's fort save, but still. Yeah, 18.
Just grab her. It's kind of flobbling. Please take care of this. Arden, translate that for me.
What? Translate what?
Floblin, kill her.
I can understand you. You know this.
Not to be you idiots. Let her know that Floblin's
have-
going to burn her.
Okay, well,
Why would I do that?
Forewarning.
I already
her know
asked her to
it's already-
surrender.
Well, in that case, duck out.
Floblin, kill her.
That's a 30.
that's a crit.
It's on fire.
What happens, Flublin?
He's like thinking, oh, this is nothing. He just makes the tiny little fireball, just playfully just goes, and it like hover, and then it just like lands on her cloak, or on her clothing, and just explodes. But the explosion was a little bit more pressurized than he expected, and just turns into ash immediately in John's hands.
He erupts into flames, consumed.
Oh.
As she drops.
I didn't burn you, did I?
Floblin doesn't know that concentrated fire makes a boom.
I was in.
I asked him to surrender twice.
I grab the other one that's knocked out. I walk my way to Darren and throw him at him.
Oh, John, you look awful.
Right.
Are you standing or are you just sitting on the ground?
So
I'm done bandaging myself.
Darren, do me a favor, stand up.
When I'm
Please.
done,
Please stand up.
in a minute.
do I need to take care of
I'm
you,
gonna
man?
grab Darren by the scruff and stand him up.
That sounds like a grab attempt.
Yes, it is. They're gonna be if I can roll higher than a 10. For 19 on the die.
That'll work.
Grab
What's
him
your,
and just,
what is your fort DC?
Fort DC is 19.
I roll a 19.
Do you have plus 10 or at least?
I have plus 10.
You are restrained. He picks you up, like you cannot move.
Okay.
You
and,
are,
you, and just slap you. You want to act all upset that you got hurt in the last fight and you left all 4 of us to go fight these 3, whatever the hell.
Shut up, John. I've had enough of you. You don't leave. I come to help you. Shaking. I
act-
come to help you, and you leave me to get eaten alive by that stupid snake. Screw
had
you.
Faith that you can take it. While I went to deal with the trap I asked someone else to deal with.
Break grab. I think that does it.
13,
22.
22. That's first sets.
Athletics DC.
Athletics DC, yeah, you do.
Okay.
So you pushed him off of you.
You're acting like a child, Sable
You're
Company
acting
Marine.
like a freaking child. Don't you dare throw that back at you. You have no freaking professionality at all. I am furious with you. You left me to die because of glowing skulls on the wall that would shoot little acid at you. You have gone insane. You have no consideration. You never have had consideration. I've put up with it. The entire time I've known you, I've written it off. You weren't trained. You were just busy. You wanted your ring back. That was why. You just don't care about anyone but yourself.
I do care. I put myself between you and them and that stupid trap on the wall. I put myself between you and them and that snake, and you stepped up to it. I thought you could handle it. I put my trust in you. And then, lo and behold, the snake decided to hit you.
Oh, yeah,
And
he's
you
the
couldn't
only
take
one
it.
next to him. The
And
only
then
one
you
next to him.
blame me?
For walking away and leaving me? Yes. Yes, I do. I do. Because
For trusting you?
You don't leave your teammates.
I didn't leave you. I trusted you to handle it, and you didn't handle it. Such is fate.
Guys.
Gentlemen.
I have a feeling we're just dealing with two different schools of combat training here, because you are used to fighting in kind of like a phalanxy thing as a team, and so you're used to having somebody at your side, and that's understandable because that's how you were trained. I have a feeling you were trained differently. You grew up on a farm, and you probably fought independently, and you were trained to scout and to do other things. I really don't think either of you meant to hurt each other or to do anything the wrong way. I think it's just different societies do different things. Like I throw rocks at people and talk to them, and that just seems weird to other people. But sometimes you have to understand the rocks before you can understand the person.
Well, Auden, if I may, just kind of casually walks up. Listen, it might not be that simple. It's just, well, as you notice, a majority of us are pretty bloodied up, so I'm going to fix that right now. And he just charges up a 3-action heal and heightens it and just patches up everyone with his holy flame of Labico.
So everybody physically feels better. When you get 2d8 or a first, second?
It is 2d8 for everybody.
So as this washes off across both of you, whatever state of injured you're currently in.
So that's going to be a total of 7 hit points for everybody, which is not a...
Yeah, you're at 1. So you all get 7 health back
It's better than nothing.
in the hallway.
I mean, I figured everyone could use a little something.
Imagine John and Darren.
I feel fine. Practically good.
Maybe you need the Inspire Rock now.
We've got a job to do here.
Is that job leaving your team to fight in another room? To die in another room? While you lick your little wounds?
Oh boy.
John, you're pathetic. And I'm just going to walk to the end of the hallway where there's a door, and I'm going to kick it open.
And as you go to boot that one free into whatever still remains in the depths of the dead Warrens here, there we will end today's episode of The Hook. We may be able to survive whatever these weird little angry gnome things can throw at us, and all these strange reanimated remains that Rolf has had access to down here in this sepulchre, but...
Who let the Necromancer have free reign of the entire graveyard?
That's what I'm
for
saying. Where was the guard?
Guys, welcome to Galarian.
Where was the Sable Company?
Welcome to Galarian.
Sable Company's canceled. I don't know if you heard.
Before this? He's been here before this. This is established.
Why didn't the police do anything? Why didn't the army do anything? Why did the Secret Service do
We not
anything?
only have to survive whatever Rolf has established here with all of these strange little blue-skinned gnome-like minions, we also have to not kill each other, nor leave each other to die.
We have a 16-year-old with a high temper and a gun.
Gun.
Okay, Darren.
He
gun
had his
sword.
own goal.
Bought and paid for with my own allowance. I saved up my allowance money.
We're gonna die. We're all gonna
No.
It's gonna be great.
I'm going to die.
It's going to be great.
We're gonna die a horrible.
Don't you worry. I
Horrible
have
death
3
down there.
minor elixirs that are just in my pocket.
Don't worry, we have stone
going to need
diplomacy.
Just try really hard
God, I
not
felt
to die
threatened.
to death.
I took my first instance of damage in like 4 or 5 sessions.
We'll probably be okay. Who knows
1 damage.
how much could be left within
taken-
in here? We haven't seen any sign of Rolf yet, nor any sign of Gerken. But we have a job to do. And we'll be back next weekend, next Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, to do it. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Rolf sounds German.
93 damage.
You got a lot of slaps. You did the fighter thing, which is you go to the front and you get bullied.
I got
And
bullied.
you make the fortitude saves. fighter things. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the
Good
rest
night.
of your weekend. Hopefully, we'll see you next time with the hook.